Numerous reports that say the Model S Plaid will be revealed on Thursday.
The Regional Services, or STARS, is increasing passenger capacity for different services. Effective immediately, the STARS bus routes, lifts, and rides can carry as many riders as they can seat. STARS is still requiring all passengers to wear masks on vehicles at all times, even for vaccinated residents. One nonprofit organization from the Great Lakes Bay region will benefit from the fundraising efforts of Saginaw Valley State University's Student Association. The student government is now accepting applications for beneficiaries of Battle of the Valleys, an SVSU tradition, a friendly rivalry between SVSU and Grand Valley State University in Allendale, which raises money in each university's respective communities. The SVSU Student Association is accepting applications from nonprofits through June 11th. Organizations can apply at svsu-battle.com by clicking on benefactor applications. WSGW News Time 9:10. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW Weatherology forecast. Mostly cloudy for today, showers and storms in the area. Highs will top out near 85 degrees. Winds south-southwesterly around 5 miles per hour. Tonight, any showers and storms end early. Otherwise, it remains mostly cloudy. Winds will be light. Lows drop to 68. Wednesday, chance for showers and storms redeveloping. Otherwise, at times, highs head back into the 80s. And then Wednesday night, showers likely. Storms continue to be possible, but mainly early. This is meteorologist Phil Jensko with the WSGW Weatherology forecast. Right now, it's 74.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
Well, good morning to you and welcome. Welcome to another edition of the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. Later on, after the 10 o'clock news from Markley, VanCamp and Robbins, we get to talk to the legend, Scott Bobbins. That will be after the 10 o'clock news. At 11 o'clock, we're going to focus on the Saginaw area fireworks. But for the first part of this hour, we're going to turn our attention to the little gem that sits here in Saginaw County. You can call it Little Bavaria. You can call it one of the biggest tourist attractions in the state of Michigan. And in all counts, you'd be right. You'd call it the home of fabulous chicken and one of the largest restaurants in the United States. You'd be right. And it all sits there in Frankenmuth, Michigan. And we get to talk to the Frankenmuth city manager this morning. We say good morning to Bridget Smith. Morning, Bridget.
Good morning. How are you?
We're doing well. Should tell everybody you can watch us too on Twitch TV, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. So here we are, almost post-pandemic. Not quite, but almost post-pandemic. Do you see life returning to some kind of normalcy in the burg of Frankenmuth?
We do. Actually, this weekend we have the Bavarian Festival. And last year we took a year off, so we're incredibly excited to have the opportunity again to gather and polka, also eat some chicken. So it's very exciting to have that back.
So let me ask, Bridget, when you say the Bavarian Festival is coming back, I mean, I remember the Bavarian Festival many, many years ago. It was a week-long celebration. It was everything, and it was hundreds of thousands of people coming to Frankenmuth. What's it going to look like this year?
So about 3 years, the Civic Events Council, who operates the Bavarian Festival, kind of changed the way in which they organized the event. And it now runs through Thursday through Sunday. And it's downtown instead of being in the Harvey Kern Pavilion. So it's more integrated into the existing streetscape and the fabric of downtown. So it really is back to its roots as a community festival. It's quite interesting. You know, one of the things that I think any community, but especially a community that has a strong tourism base, has to do is constantly paint their white picket fence. If you always want to have a white picket fence, you constantly have to make it so. And so Bavarian Festival, I think, very successfully came up with a new way to engage.
Well, it does something else too when you think about it. It puts all those tens of thousands of people right on the same street as all the businesses in Frankenmuth, rather than at the Bavarian. So there's logic going on here.
And one of the really neat things that we started doing on Friday night is the Bavarian Festival actually closes down a portion of Main Street. And so it's a big street party that happens right downtown. There's a zip line, there's food trucks and vendors, pretzels, all the things you associate with Bavarian Festival kind of literally spill into the street.
Now, what's the dates this year?
It's from this Thursday, the 10th, through this Sunday. Sunday culminates in the parade.
So, Bridget, from an administrative standpoint, I mean, when you look at the city of Frankenmuth, how do you describe Frankenmuth?
We are a small town, tight-knit, of 5,000 people that on any given day swells to 50,000 people. And so it's a challenge at times to have the staff capacity to be able to handle the ebb and flow, of tourism.
But it has to be done. I mean, it's the lifeblood of the town. Yeah. Yeah.
And one of the things that I think sets us apart, and having worked in other places as well, Frankenmuth residents, businesses, and even the people on my team all have incredibly high expectations. Expectations for service, expectations for how town is going to look. And so that makes it a lot easier to pull this off, because everybody is rowing in the same direction.
Many years ago, late 1990s and early 2000s, I was chairman of the CVB in Saginaw County and had to deal with the Frankenmuth folks quite regularly. And it was always impressive. I mean, when you talk about a group of people that knew where they were going and what they were doing, they were it.
Yeah. So I've been here almost 5 years as city manager, but I have lived in Frankenmuth previously, before that. And one of the things that I think is so unique is that we have such strong local business ownership. So it's not uncommon to walk downtown early in the morning and see different business owners out taking care of their business or walking their parking lot and checking on things and taking that personal pride. And when it comes to the city standpoint, it's easier for my team to do those same things when they see the owner of Zenders, picking up the piece of trash as he walks past it. So it's really a community mentality.
Yeah. One of the things the hospitality industry, tourism industry is suffering is labor. How are you doing in Frankenmuth finding the people to fill the positions?
I think we have the same workforce issues that every other community is facing, especially when it comes to tourism. I'll also say that some of our challenges, I think, are magnified because we don't necessarily have transit as an option out here. So, we're sometimes a 15 or 30-minute drive for employees to come into work. And even from a city perspective, we're looking for part-time police officers, and we're really struggling to fill those positions.
Which is, that's critical with the amount of traffic you get. Like this coming weekend, I can remember going in there during some of these events. There's a reserve officer on every corner. You don't have to turn very far to find a police officer.
Yes.
And they have things well under control.
Yeah, and that's, Frankenmuth prides itself on being a safe community, And that means we need help from our residents, clearly help from our businesses. We have a great police force, but as you mentioned, our reserve program, in which we have about 20 active reserves, without their assistance, it would be impossible for us to provide the level of public safety that we do.
All right, hang on, Bridget. I got to take a break. We'll come back and chat a few more minutes with Bridget Smith, City Manager in the city of Frankenmuth, on the Art Lewis Show, sponsored by Linda Shepard at Pinnacle Realty in Saginaw. You know, sellers are getting top dollar for their homes with the average of 1 day on the market. Linda Shepard sells faster. Buyers are cash or pre-approved. She does not waste any time. She's easy to work with, no pressure tactics, with several years of experience. Linda's a full-time agent that lives here and sells here. And Pinnacle is not a franchise, so the money stays right here in your community. And buyers, the interest rates are still low. Linda Shepard watches the market closely, so clients get a showing fast and have a fighting chance. She'll fight for every offer, every time. Call Linda Shepard at 989-295-7713, 295-7713. We will be back after these notes.
Kick off summer with this free community event, Concert for a Cause. Join singer Cherie Williams along with the Robert Lee Review Band, Lori and the Left Band. There'll be food trucks and family games. Bring your lawn chair and don't forget your friends. Thursday, June 17th from 5 p.m. until 8:30 p.m. in the Y Courtyard overlooking the Saginaw River. The YMCA of Saginaw, strengthening your community for 153 years.
I'm CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger with a quick tip from H2O Wireless on stretching your budget and saving money every month. Start with your recurring monthly bills, and here's the easiest one, your cell phone bill. Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile charge premium rates for unlimited data, when in all actuality, you have no need for that much data. On the other hand, is on the exact same network as one of those carriers, but charges you half. The average family of four is saving over $70 a month without having to sacrifice coverage. And listen to this, unlimited talk, text, and 15 gigs of data for just $36 per month. Switching is as easy as swapping out your SIM card. You can keep your phone and your phone number. Here's how to get the best deal. This month, dial pound 250 and say keyword get H2O. You'll save an additional 50% off your first month. Dial pound 250 and say get H2O for this exclusive offer and start saving today.
I'm Liz Clayman, and this is the Fox.
An outage at the cloud company Fastly took down numerous websites earlier today. About an hour later, the company said it identified the issue and a fix was applied. Small business owners are reporting problems finding enough staff to hire and say that's holding back growth for their companies. The monthly index from the National Federation of Independent Business declined slightly in May, though it remained at a high level. Those responding also expressed concerns about rising prices. Apple is believed to be negotiating with two China-based battery manufacturers if it's an electric vehicle. Reuters says Apple would want the batteries made in the U.S. Tesla shares are higher after a report from the China Passenger Car Association showed sales of electric cars jumped in May. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Coselda, invested in you.
Need the perfect Father's Day gift? Get them a shirt from Untuck It. Untuck It shirts are designed to be worn untucked, so they feel comfortable and look sharp all day. They also come in sizes and fits for every body, so you can easily find something in it. It's Father's Day. Find the perfect present for Dad or one of 80 plus Untuck It stores nationwide. Use code DAD20 for 20% off your first purchase. Untuck It. Shirts designed to be worn untucked.
Struggling with CPAP? Now there's Inspire, the only FDA-approved obstructive sleep apnea treatment that works inside the body to treat the root cause of sleep apnea with just the click of a button. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Visit InspireSleep.com to learn more.
Guys, stop putting your love life on hold. U.S. Pharmacy has some exciting news. If you've been wanting to try Viagra or Cialis, now's the perfect time. Call today and receive 90 pills for only $1.19 with free shipping. Why order some low-dose sildenafil from one of those subscription services when we can give you what you want now? Call 800-990-6271 and we'll rush your order discreetly packaged to your door. That's 800-990-6271.
This is a test. WSGW is conducting a test of the emergency alert system. This is only a test. This is a test of the emergency alert system on WSGW. Equipment that can quickly warn you during emergencies is being tested. WSGW serves Saginaw, Bay, and Midland counties, along with the surrounding area. This concludes this test of the emergency alert system on WSGW.
On the next Markley, VanCamp and Robbins show, Kamala Harris has solved the crisis at the border. She found out the root cause.
Kamala cookies for everybody.
She really does that, you know.
Markley, VanCamp and Robbins. Weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW.
And we're back with you here on WSGW, chatting with Bridget Smith. She is the city manager of Frankenmuth. Bridget, I ask this of every administrator that I have on. What's the financial health of the city of Frankenmuth coming out of the pandemic?
Well, we're actually doing pretty good. When we put together our budget in 2020, 2021, our fiscal year starts in July. So we start really diving into the budget in February, March with adoption in May. So we knew we were in the middle of something. We just didn't know exactly how long. So we purposefully were very conservative in our revenue estimates and in our spending. So we're ending this year okay. It was a challenge, things that you don't think about. How to handle. For example, if you're familiar with Frankenmuth, we have beautiful streetscape and flowers and plantings, but we couldn't put those 7 people, we couldn't have them share vehicles. And so our equipment costs went up, even just chipping brush. Normally we would have 3 people driving the truck together, and we couldn't do that either. So it was challenging with, like many other communities, like any other business, trying to figure out new ways to do the work we need to do and do it safely. But budget-wise, we're looking pretty good.
Are you going to receive any of the state or federal money from the pandemic?
Yes. Right now, our allocation looks like it's about $90 a person, a resident who lives in Frankenmuth, and that puts us somewhere around $550,000. There's parameters on what we can do in terms of spending, and we're just now starting to talk about how best to make use of that money.
When will you get it? Do you know?
We have to request it, and because our fiscal year ends July 1st or June 30th, we'll request it in the next fiscal year.
The next fiscal budget. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So let's look ahead a little bit here. And, the pandemic is waning, knock on wood. Would you expect the crowds in Frankenmuth to be what they were pre-pandemic?
Yes. And I think especially right now, when we're in this kind of nebulous gray area, people are looking to do things outdoors, to do them safely, to have the ability to spread out. And so the Bavarian Festival offers a great opportunity for that. I think our experience a couple weekends ago with Dog Bowl and balloons over Bavarian Inn was a good test case. The organizers for that event purposefully spread things out more, had different events, even in different locations. and we had a really good, robust crowd.
How was the traffic?
Traffic is always a challenge. Again, it goes back to this community of 5,000 people that swells to 50,000 or more any given day. So the city is very fortunate that we have a really active and robust downtown development authority, and they've just started on a traffic study for the downtown area, and in particular looking at Weiss Street. So Weiss Street is our dead end that serves our Harvey Kern Pavilion and Heritage Park, and the study is going to propose some suggestions. One of the challenges, if you think about it in terms of shopping malls, it's, we don't want to create a system that is designed for the day after Thanksgiving. So we don't want to necessarily overpark or overplan. Our primary focus is how do we get people out safely if there's an emergency, and if we know how to get people out in an emergency, it'll be a piece of cake to empty out Heritage Park after fireworks. So that's kind of the perspective we're taking.
Yeah, it's always felt the one problem with Frankenmuth, there's no good parallel route to the main street.
Yes.
But if you've been around here long enough and you learn the back streets, that's the way to get around if you're out in Frankenmuth.
Yes.
No doubt about it.
And certain things like Waze and different navigation apps have been helpful, and we are a registered community partner with Waze, and so that's been beneficial as well.
Well, Bridget, thanks for spending a little time with us. Let's remind everybody again that the Bavarian Festival is this weekend. Do you know the schedule? What's going to happen on the various days?
Yep, Friday night is the street party with the zip lines and games. Polka Riot will be there. They have quite a following, and that starts at 5. There'll be fireworks to close out the event at 10 o'clock. The Kinder Tag Parade is on Saturday, which was always one of my favorite things to watch. You have to be at River Place at 9:30, and then there's entertainment in the main tent at Eddie's Under Park. The parade starts Sunday at 1.
The big parade. That's
Yes.
one of the traditions that hasn't gone away. It's a good thing. Bridget, thanks for being with us today. We appreciate it.
It was my pleasure. Thank you.
Enjoy the festival.
Thanks.
Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
Bridget Smith, she is the city manager of the city of Frankenmuth. We thank her for joining us on the Art Lewis Show for this Tuesday morning. Nice to have all of you with us. We're going to move to our open phone format for the remainder of this hour. Next hour, we're going to talk to a radio legend. He has been at the top of every format he has ever worked in. Had some very, very serious health issues a number of years ago and overcame them. We're going to talk to Scott Bobbins, the Robbins from Markley, VanCamp and Robbins, and he will be with us after the 10 o'clock news here on the Art Lewis Show. We've got a number of things to chat about this morning with you, but if you got something you want to talk about, you know our numbers, 752-6111 from Saginaw and Bay City. In the state of Michigan, 866-790-WSGW is toll-free, and outside the state, 989-752-6111. Those are the numbers that hook you up with us. Love to chat with you on this Tuesday. I want to chat with you for a moment about cars. We all know that dealers are suffering inventory problems with newer vehicles, and that has put a big push for people to look for pre-owned cars. But even those supplies have been challenging. Well, I can tell you where you can find a lot of them. As a matter of fact, one of the biggest inventories in the Great Lakes Bay region can be found at the Thalen Auto Group in Bay City on North Euclid Avenue. Now, you can start and you can end your search right there for your next car, truck, or SUV. It's one of the largest inventories of previously owned vehicles here in the region. Hundreds of vehicles to choose from. That includes premium luxury cars. You want trucks, you want SUVs, they've got them. You want an everyday driver, they've got them in all price ranges. And remember, Thalen searches the market for the lowest price on their used vehicles. That's the price they pass on to you. And they will tell you they do that because it is the right thing to do. Stop in, look over the inventory, or go online to thinkthalen.com and see their inventory of previously owned vehicles. No matter your current credit situation, don't worry about it. Financing is easy at Thalen. Visit the Thalen Auto Group today. Test drive the vehicle of your dreams, then sit down with a Thalen representative to see how easy it is to make your dreams come true. The Thalen Auto Group has been serving the automotive needs of the Great Lakes Bay region for 44 years, and they are now in their third generation of family ownership. We'll be back after these notes.
These days, nearly every small business owner is looking for ways to cut costs, and that's where Spectrum Business comes in. They have the best business internet and phone available at prices that are up to half off what you're paying now. That's right. You can cut costs for your business and get faster internet. Just what small businesses need right now. Call 833-919-2129 and get all the value with none of the nonsense. That's Spectrum Business. 833-919-2129.
Summer is a great time to get away. It's up to you. Let Capoco Community Credit Union help you get where you want to go with a vacation or staycation loan. See a Capoco Community Credit Union loan officer today and ask how they can help. Whether it's a faraway land or a little getaway close to home, a vacation or staycation is easy with Capoco Community Credit Union. Find out more at capoco.org, member NCUA.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
Research shows that people remember radio ads with a booming voice that emphasizes all the main points. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual Insurance Company customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need.
That part is super important.
Here's one with a booming voice.
I'm emphasizing everything.
Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance.
Like a page with every word highlighted.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty. Liberty. Liberty, 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 liberty.
According to the National Institutes of Health, 30% of hospital admissions in older adults are drug-related, like taking meds at the wrong time. Hero Health simplifies medication management. 90 days worth of up to 10 different pills. It dispenses them at the push of a button. Try Hero risk-free for 30 days and get free contactless delivery. Just call 800-420-7550. That's 800-420-7550. 800-420-7550. Hero, medication managed.
Hi, break time? I know you. I'm Cologuard, a prescription colon cancer 45 plus at average risk. It seems like you take care of yourself.
I do. I play tennis. I try to eat well.
What about screening for colon cancer?
Not yet.
Don't wait. Colon cancer is more treatable when it's caught in early stages.
Tell me more.
Cologuard is non-invasive and is used at home. It detects altered DNA in your stool. Colon cancers.
92%?
Yep, even those in early stages.
This was seen in a clinical study with patients 50 and older. Any positive result should be followed by a diagnostic colonoscopy. False positive and negative results may occur. Cologuard is not a replacement for colonoscopy in high-risk patients. Do not use if you have had adenomas, have inflammatory bowel syndromes, or a personal or family history of colon cancer.
Most insured patients pay $0. Ask your provider or an online prescriber if Cologuard is right for you, or visit requestcologuard.com.
I'm on it.
Excellent.
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
And we're back with you here on the Art Lewis Show. Open phones for the remainder of this hour. Scott Robbins next hour. I guess so much for bipartisanship in the state of Michigan. The governor has vetoed 13 bills from the legislature that were pandemic end of pandemic measures that she says endangers the lives of countless Michiganders. She also vetoed some COVID-19 bills related to Michigan graduations and public records. In other words, nothing to do with the pandemic was approved by the governor. And I guess, listen, what's past is past. She did what she thought was right during the pandemic, got knocked down a few times for it, but found a way around it through the health department. The question is, what do we do to ensure that all of the parties, legislature and administration, have a say in the future if a pandemic or any other significant tragedy of that nature happens? What's the future like? Or has she set the bar and set the tone, and that's what it's going to be? I do not have the answer, other than the fact that I think that she needs to find a way to work with the legislature. I find it interesting, and I don't know what it is about the job that's apparently changed Governor Whitmer. In talking to people who dealt with her when she was a senator, they all had glowing comments about her. And that comes from people on both sides of the aisle. They thought she was a moderate. They could work with her. She listened. They could discuss issues with her. And for all intents and purposes, they thought she was a pretty good senator. Then she became governor. Then the pandemic hit. And those same people now say they wouldn't vote for her. Even those on the Democratic side who knew her and respected her and voted for her have told me they wouldn't vote for her now. She certainly did not show any type of bipartisan dealings with the legislature in handling the pandemic. I mean, for all practical purposes, she became a dictator. Now, I'm a fair person, and I will tell you that any reasonable person is going to feel that some of what she did was for the protection of the people of the state of Michigan. Some of what she did wasn't bad. But overall, when you look at how she dealt with the legislature, how she provided information. Yeah, she was on the tube and the radio all the time doing press conferences and reports and updates and all of that. But yet when she was asked for certain data, it never got produced. So I think you have to take a look at the whole package and say on certain elements of what she did, I'd give her a B, maybe even an A in some cases. And in other areas, it'd probably flunk her. Question, though, again, what's the future going to look like? We got Mark in Mount Pleasant waiting for us. So let's head west and say hi to Mark. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you, sir?
We're well, thank you. Hope you are too.
Yeah. Hey, Kamala Harris is doing a over in El Salvador, I think it is.
Guatemala.
Guatemala, I apologize.
It's all right.
But the Guatemala president called her out and says that it was her doings that has caused this crisis. But yet she didn't respond really into that. She was more saying it was climate change and we need to work on that. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I got two thoughts on it. First of all, I wouldn't be dealing with the Guatemala president. His reputation is not stellar, let's say that. I wouldn't take him a nickel. Take a check down to him, it goes into his pocket more than likely. But on the other side of that coin, I mean, what has she done so far since she's been named, if you will, the immigration czar, She hasn't gone to the border. This is her first trip down into the Triangle countries. And what's she going to do? She sat there and told people, don't come. Oh, gee whiz. Okay. I'll bet they're all going to just hunker right down. I am someone who believes that we have to have secure borders, and we don't have them. And I also believe this administration has failed in that method, in that area. I don't see her doing anything to change that. And until such time as they do, I'm negative on it. How about you?
Yeah. Well, they talk about the reason why people are coming is because of the climate, but with it getting so hot down there by the border, I think the crossings will go down, and then I think they may take a victory lap saying that Kamala Harris was the right person to put in charge. Look,
well, let me point something out.
Crossings
Let me point something out to you, though. Heat is not the problem. These folks coming up from Guatemala, El Salvador, and the like, they're used to that. Their lives are in the heat all the time. So heat is not a restrictor as far as I see it. It maybe to some, but for most of them, they're used to that. That's their way of life. The climate change, listen, they've blamed the climate change. They've blamed, of course, Trump. Trump's responsible for everything in the Biden administration that's bad. And, they have yet to take any responsibility.
So I agree. Yeah, the one that really tugged my heart the other night was that 5-year-old boy that was videotaped by French television. He was on the nightly news screaming for the Coyotes not to leave him.
Yep.
Where's Pelosi and her design really backing the children all the time when there's a bill in Congress that needs to go through? It's always about the children. Why can't we put her out there to support the to get these children if that's the case?
Yeah,
it's just silence. It's just something how
Yep.
When it's convenient, you use a child. When it's a real crisis, they're nowhere to be found.
Well, that's it's politics of convenience. You've just named it. I mean, that's and I have to tell you, that's both sides. They both play that game.
I agree.
So, but right now we're dealing with this issue. So we deal with this side. That's in my view, the cause of it. I mean, they came in and immediately eliminated all of the executive orders that Trump put in place to limit immigration and try and stem the tide of it. And then they're surprised that people flooded over the border. Gee whiz. It's like putting out your arms and saying, come on down, So,
but if they do fix it with a plan or something, great, hats off to them. But let's start to get something going.
Well, that's that. And listen, no matter what you do, if you don't seal the border, you're wasting your time. Because if you don't seal your border and you put something in place that says, okay, we're going to give you a path to citizenship and all of that, aren't you not inviting more across the border? Of course you are. So
they said they were going to start that wall construction again, potentially.
Yeah, potentially. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, fair enough.
All right, Mark. Hey, have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye now.
Yep. Bye.
And lines are open for you. It's the Art Lewis Show on this Tuesday morning. We'll take a break, and we will be back with more.
Slither into the Saginaw Children's Zoo, and you never know who you might see at an animal meet and greet at an amphitheater show. Barnyard Friends, Llamas, Bandana and Charlie, and Pig Charlotte. The Rainforest Run Playground and Fossil Finder open this year, and remember to take your ride on the ADA accessible train and carousel. We will see you at the zoo this year.
Saginaw Children's Zoo.
How do you zoo?
Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider and are only available if the provider determines a prescription is appropriate. Subscription required. Additional restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information.
My husband's ED was affecting our marriage. When he first started experiencing ED, it was difficult for both of us. We didn't know who to talk to about it or where to get help. HIMSS was our answer. HIMSS connected my husband with a licensed provider. He was able to get medication to treat his ED at a fraction of the price people pay for the name brand. It was delivered to our door, and guess what? Our sex life is back. It works.
Right now, get your first online provider's visit totally free when you go to forhims.com/love. Yep,
Free. No copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. Just the care you need.
Thanks to Hims, we got our sex life and our marriage back.
To start your free online visit, go to this exclusive address, forhims.com/love. That's forhims.com/love for your free online visit. FORHIMS.com/LOVE.
America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
Napa know-how. Celebrate Dad all month at Napa with the Evercraft 100-piece screwdriver set for $19.99. To a regular person, that might seem like an excessive number. But to Dad, that's just being prepared, like buying a paper map in case the GPS goes rogue. That's the Evercraft 100-piece screwdriver set for $19.99. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
At participating locations while supplies last. Offer ends 6/30/21.
I'm CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger with a quick tip from H2O Wireless on stretching your budget and saving money every month. Start with your recurring monthly bills, and here's the easiest one, your cell phone bill. Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile charge premium rates for unlimited data, when in all actuality, you have no need for that much data. H2O Wireless, on the other hand, is on the exact same network as one of those carriers, but charges you half. The average family of four is saving over $70 a month without having to sacrifice coverage. And listen to this, unlimited talk, text, and 15 gigs of data for just $36 per month. Switching is as easy as swapping out your SIM card. You can keep your phone and your phone. The best deal this month, dial pound 250 and say keyword get H2O. You'll save an additional 50% off your first month. Dial pound 250 and say get H2O for this exclusive offer and start saving today.
1-2, swing and a miss. Oh boy, the changeup. Career high strikeout number 10 for Tarek Skubal. First time he has reached double digits.
The Tigers play 6:50 tonight on 790 News Radio WSGW.
And we're back with you on the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. And Al is in Midland up next. Al, good morning.
Good morning, Arthur. Hey, I'm not going to touch on the politics too much today. You brought up, the morning team brought up a bunch of my musical favorites. Funko, Elvis Presley, the Beach Boys. I grew up listening to that stuff in my childhood. Great music.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
I have special connections with the publishing industry and get a lot of free stuff very often. I've been listening to Mike Lindell's book. This guy's a real mess. He was a real mess growing up in his early life. Death looked him in the eye multiple times. It's unbelievable the guy was doing the things he was doing. I've been listening to the audiobook version. And he's an amazing guy, but it's literally fantastic that this guy's still alive.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. He's the early years of his life, and you're quite right. By all accounts, he shouldn't be alive. I give him a lot of credit as a businessman for creating a product, figuring out how to market it, and make himself a lot of money. But he's really far out there. I mean, he is really out there.
Yeah.
And
he's a great promoter.
That's it. He's almost a huckster. You kind of look at them with a cautious eye. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, but if comparing him to a huckster is an insult to him, actually, because he's more ethical than a huckster.
I'm not. I in some ways, yes. I can remember when he said his pillow was endorsed by the National Sleep something or other Turns out it was an organization he created to endorse his pillow. So I mean, it was you got to take it with a grain of salt. It's a good pillow, and it's a great pillow. You buy the pillow because it's a good pillow. But
made in this country too. You don't have to worry about.
And it's made in America. I give them credit for all of that. Absolutely.
You don't have to worry about what things coming over from China. We don't know what's inside of half of that stuff.
Yeah,
they don't
true.
test any of it, and
right.
worry about health conditions and things. And
yep. All right,
it's amazing to listen to this guy. The number of times he faced death in.
But that was most of his own doing.
Yeah, it was.
So, all right.
Scary happenings. He went down to Mexico and.
All right. I got to run out.
His life a number of times.
Yep,
so.
I got to run. Got one more call I got to squeeze in here before I'm out of time. Let's say hello to Joe in Saginaw. Joe, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Say, do you think we were ill-advised to participate in the asylum many years ago?
I'm sorry, you're dropped out on me. Participate on the what? In the what?
Do you think we were ill-advised to participate in the asylum treaty a number of years ago?
Oh, I don't know why. Why do you think that? Or do you think that?
We did sign on to the asylum treaty along with a number of other countries and so forth to take in refugees if they were being persecuted in their home country and so forth. And I would think that if we did sign that treaty, which we did, that we probably have an obligation to provide the facilities to function.
Okay, let's look at it with real eyes. All right. Yeah, I mean, we have always been a nation with open arms, and we have always offered political asylum. There is the notion of political asylum, and then there's the notion of I got to leave my country because I can't make it here, and we're going to run across your border. That's not political asylum.
That's true, but there are so many of these cases that are sitting around in limbo because we haven't provided the judges or whatever.
Well, but we were overrun.
The bureaucracy to deal with it.
Yeah, but we're overrun. How do you prepare for that? We didn't prepare for that. We prepared for what was going on for most of our history, and then all of a sudden this comes about. And it's not just this year. I mean, it's been happening over the last many years.
Yes.
And it's, it's a difficult situation. But I'll tell you what.
Don't you think we have an obligation, though, to increase the process doers or
well, I think before you do that, we have an obligation to close our border. Then we can deal with those who have made it across. And I got to go because I'm out of time. We'll talk more about this again. Call back again, Joe. It's a good topic. It's an interesting topic. And we will be back after these notes.
It's the sound of a good deal. That's music to your ears.
It's new, the newly enhanced XT2 series trackers from Cub Cadet. These lawn trackers have always set the standard for performance and comfort. Now get more strength, durability, and versatility with a strong Kawasaki engine delivering reliable power to tackle your yard, plus a 42-inch heavy-duty fabricated Aeroforce deck cutting system delivering a best-in-class cut with fewer clumps, finer clippings, and increased evenness. The tough torque hydrostatic transmission delivers no shifting. Just push the pedal and go. See the new XT2 series tractors today at Woolfiles Ace Hardware, 5818 State Street, Saginaw, where customer service still exists. Open 7 days.
It's the sound of a good deal. That's music to your ears.
Get control of flies in your dairy operation with an integrated pest management program built around Clarifly Larvicide and Starbar products from Central Life Sciences. Clarifly Larvicide offers feed-through control that prevents the emergence of nuisance flies from the manure of treated animals by as much as 96%. And Starbar features a lineup of baits, traps, and sprays that address fly problems dairy operation. Flies can spread disease and lead to decreases in milk quality and yields. Learn how to limit their impact at centralflycontrol.com.
Today on Hey Culligan, better water, better food. Here's Gary in Chicago.
Hey Culligan, my water smells like a swimming pool and my hot dog tastes like one.
Sounds like your water comes with a little chlorine.
Chlorine?
You know, you could get a great for cooking water, delicious for drinking water, Culligan reverse osmosis system.
Yeah, I'll take one of those and 2-3 more hot dogs.
No can do on the dogs, Gare, but one Culligan reverse osmosis system already on the way. Let us help you out with a free in-home water test with a local Culligan water expert at Culligan.com.
All right, that'll put the first hour in the can. We'll head up to hour number 2, and we'll be talking to Scott Bobbins from Markley, VanCamp and Robbins. Stellar career and a great health scare. We'll tell you that story. Meantime, stick around for the news. CBS News coming up at the top of the hour. And Michael Percher with the local report. We'll talk to you right after the news.
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
Is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. The CEO of the Colonial Pipeline is testifying before lawmakers on Capitol Hill this hour about last month's cyber attack that stopped the flow of fuel to the East Coast. His appearance follows an announcement by the Justice Department. The FBI has recovered more than $2 million in ransom money. CBS's Jeff Pegues.
They'll want to know why the company paid the ransom in the first place. In the meantime, President Biden meets with Vladimir Putin next week. A lot of these hackers are linked to Russia.
Cyber experts, including CNET's Dan Patterson, do not believe a cyber attack was behind this morning's global internet outage.
If it was a hack, we would see different types of errors. We wouldn't see this one universal error 503 everywhere. So that gave us a clue. We started asking around and found that Fastly is the other connective tissue. They are the these other media websites.
The cloud computing company issued a quick fix. CBS, Amazon, and Google were among the sites that went down. A Senate investigation of the January 6th attack finds Capitol Police had intelligence about the invasion weeks before, but labeled the threat of violence remote to improbable. The report cites broad government, military, and law enforcement missteps. The Biden administration's released a report on immigrant family reunifications. CBS's Vicki Barker. The Department of Homeland Security reports says 2,100 children who were improperly removed from their families near the U.S.-Mexico border during the Trump administration may still be separated from their parents. The U.S. government simply has no way of knowing either way. Total number of families she told would
Hello.
Women and Libra. The official photo will be taken in front of a famous mural painted by Mexican artist and social activist Diego Rivera.
Humiliation for French President Emmanuel Macron. He was slapped in the face by a spectator during a visit to southern France. 2 people arrested. Welcoming fans back to New York City's Madison Square Garden. The Foo Fighters will play the first concert there in 460 days on Father's Day, June 20th. You have to be fully vaccinated to get in. Dow down 84. This is CBS News.
Looking to hire? Indeed will help you speed up the process. They have 135 skills tests to help you find the right candidates faster. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Imagine that it becomes your home. The Wellspring Senior Living Campus in Saginaw is designed for you to live life to the fullest. Our tailored approach to independent and assisted living fits your lifestyle and preferences. If you'd like the Wellspring family by your side, encouraging you and your loved ones every step of the way, schedule a tour at Wellspring Senior Living Campus today at SaginawSeniorLiving.com.
All right, we have goat yoga lattes coming up in the yoga room. Hey, Vegan, can you go
At Finley's Fitness, personal trainers shouldn't have to personally do everything.
Engage that core. That class started 2 minutes ago. I am late. Hey, Dylan.
Indeed can help them hire the people they need.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job, you immediately get your short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job criteria. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Cloudy skies and 76 degrees at 10:05. Good morning, I'm Mike Percham. The superintendent of Saginaw Public Schools was placed under arrest Sunday night. WJRT TV reports Dr. Ramont Roberts was placed under arrest after a domestic violence complaint from a home on Owen Street sometime before 8:30 p.m. Police say they received a call from the daughter of a woman who told them Roberts and the woman assaulted each other. No injuries were reported. Roberts was released from the Saginaw County Jail yesterday afternoon due to what the prosecutor's office calls a lack of sufficient evidence. No charges have been filed against him. A Bay County man has died and his wife is in critical condition following a motorcycle crash in Bay County last Friday. The Bay County Sheriff's Department has identified Robotoy, who was riding a 2016 Harley Davidson with his 55-year-old wife east on Linwood Road around 7:25 p.m. A 70-year-old Midland resident was driving a 2000 GMC Sonoma and was making a turn into a driveway directly into the path of the motorcycle. Robotoy was killed at the scene. His wife suffered critical injuries. She was taken to Covenant Healthcare in Saginaw for surgery, then transferred to Henry Ford Hospital. The Midland man suffered minor injuries. Robotoy and his wife were both wearing helmets. Police arrested the Midland man for driving while intoxicated, causing death and serious injury. His arraignment is pending. Michigan Attorney General is working to make sure a rate increase from DTE is reasonable. Dana Nessel is urging the Michigan Public Service Commission to significantly cut a rate increase request from DTE. In February, the Attorney General intervened in the company's filed rate case as an advocate for the customers across the state. The company requested a $195 million increase, which would represents a greater than 11% increase for residential customers. Nessel filed testimony back on June 3rd and argued the requested increase is unreasonable. She says any increase must remain moderate. WSGW News Time, 10:07.
For almost 20 years, Linex has been the only place to go for quality spray-on bed liner. But did you know they also offer rust-proofing and undercoating?
Their exclusive process will keep your new or used vehicle protected.
The guys at Linex have the only wax-based rust-proofing and military-spec undercoat to ensure years of protection.
In fact, all new vehicles protected will get a lifetime warranty, no yearly touch-ups required.
And because the rust-proofing process is wax-based, you won't have any long-term dripping or mess to clean up later. Rust-proof your car, truck, or SUV and protect it year-round.
Linex A City.
Give them a call at 989-671-9820 or call them at their Grand Blanc location, 810-695-9000.
Remember, your new car, truck, or SUV gets a lifetime warranty with no yearly touch-up required.
Again, the number in Bay City is 989-671-9820 or in Grand Blanc, 810-695-9000.
WSGW News Time, 10:08. The weather forecast is coming up. Authorities are using a backhoe at a Detroit cemetery in response to complaints that some deceased might not be buried in the right graves. No crimes are suspected, but the FBI joined Detroit police at Gethsemane Cemetery on Monday in plain view of motorists on busy Gratiot Avenue. WDIV-TV says at least 7 graves were checked. 6 appeared to be proper. A police official says a marker was in the wrong place, but the loved one has been found. There were many earlier this year about an improper burial. Michigan State Police Houghton Lake Post is warning residents of an online dating scam. Here's more from Rob Mason.
2 victims were contacted and were sent fraudulent checks. They were then asked to send money to a third party using Bitcoin. One victim sent $3,000. The other sent more than $9,000. Both investigations originated from a local credit union in Lake City. State police remind people using checks they know are fraudulent could lead to a criminal charge against them. Rob Mason, the Michigan News Network.
Michigan State University is putting out a call for volunteers to help monitor water levels and erosion on the Great Lake. Teachers are asking for volunteers to help in South Haven, Manistee, Marquette, Manistique, Chickaming, and Iosco. The work is to help determine how the coastline has changed over time. Those interested can sign up on MSU's College of Social Sciences website. WSGW News Time 1010. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW Weatherology forecast. We'll see a few scattered showers and thunderstorms here for today with mostly cloudy skies, a high into the mid-80s. Winds will be light and variable. And then for tonight, we'll have mostly cloudy skies, a low near 68. By Wednesday, a chance for showers and thunderstorms. Partial sunshine develops, a high around 86. And Thursday, a chance for showers and storms here late. Blend of clouds and sunshine develops, and a high around 86. Friday, another chance for showers and thunderstorms here late. Blended around 86 degrees. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW Weatherology forecast. Currently, it's 74.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions. From around your block to around the world, The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
Welcome back. Hour number 2 of the Art Lewis Show, sponsored by Linda Shepard at Pinnacle Realty. For all of your residential and commercial real estate needs, give Linda a call at 989-295-7713. Oh, we have a special guest with us this hour. You hear him regularly, Monday through Friday from noon to 3 as part of the Markley, VanCamp and Robbins show. He has quite the story in the radio industry to be told. He is, by everyone's account, a legend in the industry, has worked in many formats, including the one he currently works in with Markley and VanCamp. And he also has a life story that goes with it. And we are pleased this morning to say good morning to David Robbins. Scott, I had David on my mind. Scott Robbins, good morning to you, Scott.
That's all right. You can call me Steve, or it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We have those moments when we're on the air, right? And we hope they can pass by, but then sometimes we have to go back and correct it. But hey, good morning. It's great to be with you. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
You're more than welcome. A fascinating story, Scott. I mean, by all accounts, and this probably is not too harsh to say, by all accounts, you probably shouldn't be with us.
No, sir. It was almost 5 years ago now. Jamie Markley and I have been friends and worked together for many, many years, and we had put this show together. It was doing pretty well. And we had gone to Portland, Oregon, which was sort of the mothership at the time, and we just signed a contract to work with Portland, in Portland, and do a show there. And I came home, and 2 weeks later, I had, in the middle of the night, a massive heart attack. So massive, in fact, that when the paramedics got there, they had to shock my heart back into position and keep it beating, and they did. They were going to do surgery the next day, and they made a determination quickly that they had to do it immediately. And before they did that, I coded.
I was without a heartbeat for 40 minutes.
Wow.
On minute 41 is when the heartbeat came back.
Let me ask a question, Scott. Let me ask a question about that, because most of us, when we hear a heart stops for 40 minutes, my immediate thought is blood supply to the brain, because we're often told you only have so many minutes. Were they doing something to artificially keep your body circulating?
As far as I know, no. It was just chest compressions that were going on, and
they were doing something. Yeah.
Yeah. There were chest compressions going on. There was an actual nurse actually on top of me. This guy with these huge tree trunk arms broke every rib in my body. But anyway, they got the heartbeat. I went in. I had 5 bypasses that night, and they put me in a coma. I was in a coma for a month. And nobody knew whether I was ever going to be able to talk again or walk again or anything. That was still to be determined. And when I got out of it, I had a trach put in, and so I couldn't talk. And of course, there was brain place, and it took every bit of 3.5, 4 years to come back. I mean, through just strenuous and grueling amount of rehab work. I was able to come back and do what I love, and that's doing radio, man. I mean, I love doing it. And
we should point out, these weren't your only problems. You had some other medical issues going on at the same time, didn't you?
Well, Here's another great. This is a great story. It's a true story, and this never happens. Apparently, my kidneys I'd failed. I mean, because I was without blood flow to the kidneys, and so I was on dialysis.
Mm-hmm.
They put me on dialysis right away. I had no kidney. I was on dialysis 6 months, and I don't know, for those of you who've been on dialysis, you can relate to this. It can make you physically ill. I mean, it really does. 3 days a week, 4 hours at a time, I would sit at the dialysis clinic and have my blood cleaned and processed and put back into my body, which is what your kidneys do. But one day, while I was there, one of the techs comes up, because they draw blood all the time and they test it to see where you are in terms of your GFR numbers, is what they're called. And he said, "Hey, man, I'm just looking at this, and I don't think you need to do this anymore. Your kidneys have started working again," which I had gone to transplant classes. I mean, my bags were packed. The minute I got the call to have the transplant, I was going to be on my way. And again, this never happens. Now, will they ever be 100%? No. But they are certainly above the level of dialysis. And there's no way to explain that either. So what you're looking at, divine intervention of some kind.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I believe that, because there's no explanation for this. Medically, nobody can explain it.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a second chance at life. Very few people do. And I intend to make the most of it, and I have since then.
Let me ask the before and afters here. Before your massive heart attack, had you had any indication that maybe your heart wasn't up to what it should be?
It's strange because we have a minor league baseball team in Peoria, Illinois, which is where Jamie and I were. And they allowed us to go on the field sometimes before games and just throw the baseball around. And I did, and it was a hot day, and I was very fatigued because it was in September when this happened. And I had played basketball, too, earlier, and I'd become very winded. I thought it was just a matter of me being out of shape. I mean, I'd never been sick a day in my life. I never took sick days, never had the flu. Not really. So to answer your question, no, not really. I mean, I had some numbness in my fingers, which, again, I attributed to sleeping wrong or whatever. I mean, my lifestyle was not great. I mean, I spent too much time in taverns and smoking cigars. Those days came to a screeching halt. But anyway, it'll catch up with you eventually. But outside of that, no. And I was 54 years old. You don't think about that at 54. So anyway,
yeah. Well,
that was. So I wish. I mean, if I would have had some warning signs, maybe that could have been averted. But I really didn't.
Yeah. And so, post all of this, how has your life changed? Not back to work and all of that, but what changes did you have to make in your life?
Well, I had to adjust. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I try to get a legitimate amount of exercise in. I'm much more grateful now than I've ever was before. I think I'm closer to my family. I did go through a divorce during all this too, so add that on. Pile on here, right? So there was a lot of things, but I think I've just got a greater appreciation for life, and I think anybody would, having gone through it, being close to the other side and coming back from that. I'm often asked too if I have any great stories about did you see any bright lights or did you tug on Jesus's robe or any of that, and the answer is no, I didn't. I have no great story there. I wish I did, but I don't. But anyway, so I think you just, we take everything for granted. We do, because we're just creatures like that. I don't anymore. I mean, when it's a beautiful sunny day, man, I get out and I breathe the air, and I'm just grateful to be here.
Yeah. Before your attack, it was the Robbins and Markley show.
Yes, sir.
After the attack, it's Markley, VanCamp, and Robbins. You moved to the end of the line. Sorry about that.
I know. Well, third billing is better than no billing.
How did you get back to
those guys?
Yeah,
I remember telling those guys we were getting ready to put the show back on. I said, "You can leave my name off. I don't care. I just want to get back on the radio again." I didn't care how it happened, but
and how
anyway,
did
it worked out?
How did it happen that you got back with them?
Well, I got to a point where I could. I'd never been fired from a job before in my life. I mean, I've been a lucky guy. I've been 43 years in this business. I was, a teenager when I started, but I'd never been fired. And I got fired in a hospital bed, essentially. And I devoted that moment that this is not going to be the end of it. And the fear factor comes in because it's not like I know how to do anything else. It's not like I could become an electrician or, a mechanic or do anything else. So anyway, I worked hard through speech therapy, and I got a job in the same building working part-time at a sports talk station. So it was sort of an entry-level sort of position. It was a brand new startup, a little bitty FM, and I started doing an afternoon show there, and my voice gradually got better and better and better, and my wits got better and better. And Jamie Markley, who has been my close friend for well over 30 years too, came to me and said, "Hey, man, we want to get you back on the show. We're going to make this happen." So I started doing once a week hits with them. And after that, it was every day. And it just gradually progressed. And then the people, our mothership, and also our group said, "Okay, we can pony up the dough to get it done." And they did. And it's worked out nicely for us. So, that's how it kind of.
Hang on, I got to take a break, Scott. We'll come back and talk more. We're talking to Scott Bobbins, part of the Markley, VanCamp and Robbins show that you hear from noon to 3 here on WSGW, weekdays, Monday to Friday. I'm Art Lewis. We'll be back after these notes.
Guys, stop putting your love life on hold. U.S. Pharmacy has some exciting news. If you've been wanting to try Viagra or Cialis, now's the perfect time. Call today and receive 90 little blue or little yellow pills for only $119 with free shipping. Why order some low-dose sildenafil from one of those subscription services when we can give you what you want now? Call 800-990-6271 and we'll rush your order discreetly packaged to your door. Been thinking about trying Viagra or Cialis? Call U.S. Pharmacy 990-6271 for as little as only $119 for 90 pills. Need your package in a hurry? Call 800-990-6271 and ask about our and we'll rush your order to you as soon as possible. Save money on the little blue or yellow pill you've been wanting to try. Again, 800-990-6271 now. That's 800-990-6271.
For over 40 years, Region 7 Area Agency on Aging has focused on helping our citizens and providing them with a wide range of free services. From helping you find the right drug plan, to helping your loved ones get innovative care at home with access to in-home medical care, medical transportation, and so much more. Call the Region 7 Area Agency on Aging today at 800-858-1637 or visit us on AAA.org.
Napa know-how.
Celebrate Dad all month at Napa with the Evercraft 100-piece screwdriver set for $19.99. To a regular person, that might seem like an excessive number of screwdrivers. But to Dad, that's just being prepared, like buying a paper map in case the GPS goes rogue. That's the Evercraft 100-piece screwdriver set for $19.99. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how. At participating locations while supplies last. Offer ends 6/30/21.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Stocks opened higher. The appetite for technology shares appears to have improved. Tesla shares have been helped by a report in China showing a jump in sales of electric cars there. The U.S. trade deficit narrowed in April, though that's attributed to manufacturers in to meet the U.S. demand. The monthly index from the National Federation of Independent Business declined slightly in May, though remained at a high level. Fastly Inc. shares lost ground after the cloud services company was offline for a time today, knocking off several big clients before fixing the issue. Samsung Electronics expects Europe to help fuel its growth for 5G network equipment. It's currently conducting trials with Deutsche Telekom and others. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Coselda, invested in you.
Need the perfect Father's Day gift? Get them a shirt from Untuck It. Untuck It shirts are designed to be worn untucked so they feel comfortable and look sharp all day. They also come in sizes and fits for every body so you can easily find something in his size. This Father's Day, find the perfect present for Dad at untuckit.com or one of 80-plus Untuck It stores nationwide. Use code DAD20 for 20% off your first purchase. Untuck It. Shirts designed to be worn untucked.
Struggling with CPAP? Now there's Inspire, the only FDA-approved obstructive sleep apnea treatment that will treat the root cause of sleep apnea with just the click of a button. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Visit InspireSleep.com to learn more.
G'day, mate. As an Australian, I'm a croc expert. Crikey, get him away from me. I mean Crocs, like the footwear. And as a croc expert, I have to say I like foamies from Skechers bloody better. Because foamies have that stylish trend, world-famous comfort, all for a price that's down under the competition. Skechers is a comfort technology company, and foamies have comfort innovations your whole family will love. Foamies are ultra-lightweight, water-friendly footwear that are flexible and breathable. Perfect for kicking it by the pool, grilling on the barbie, or comfy enough to go on a walkabout. Plus, only foamies come with fits and features like Arch Fit with podiatrist-certified support, and max cushioning that feels like you're walking on big, puffy marshmallows. And foamies are perfect to keep you cool this summer or warm in the winter, which is great because it's actually winter in Australia right now. Good on you, Skechers. So get yourself some machine-washable foamies by Skechers and don't get bit by Crocs. He's a mean fella. Find foamies at Skechers.com, wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Markley, VanCamp and Robbins.
Meanwhile, Fauci's garbage, and the only thing Fauci wanted to be was Kardashian. He wanted to be on the cover of magazines. He wanted to be famous. I mean, the dude wanted to be famous.
Or at least be known like I'm the one that cured this thing.
Right,
I
look
brought
at
the
me.
world together. Yeah, you get
I'm the hero. I'm the champion. Put me on Mount Rushmore. Have pillows made with my face on it. I mean, it's incredible.
Markley, VanCamp and Robbins. Weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW.
Welcome back. The Art Lewis Show. How timely that promo, as we are talking to Scott Bobbins. And I had to laugh during that promo, Scott, because when I talked to Jamie Markley, I suggested that there needs to be a new name added to the program, that it needs to be Markley, VanCamp, Robbins, and Fauci. Seems to be one of your favorites.
He's fantastic, isn't he? Great job. I sent a note to the fine governor of Michigan and asked her if she had where she got her pillow with Fauci's face on it. Which, by the way, I've seen about 100 times on TV now. Yeah, they're going to carve his face on. They were going to put it on Mount Rushmore, but I don't know if that actually happened or not. It's crazy.
Well, let's face it. None of us. Maybe you're the exception. I was going to say none of us have ever lived through this. You had your own pandemic, if you will. You had a self-pandemic.
I'll always try to give grace. It's like, well, nobody knew what they didn't know, but even when they knew, they didn't tell us. So that's part of the problem.
Yeah, and and our governor, and I talk about this often. She, for some reason, really went after the restaurant and hospitality industry, and she was asked time and time again for the data. She kept saying the data, the science, but she was asked time and time again for the data and never produced it, not once. Even the legislature, who she didn't deal with anyway, the legislature asked her, she wouldn't produce it. Never produced the documentation that could show you that restaurants are responsible for this percentage of the pandemic. So it's been
it's funny because
difficult.
I thought we should have done an NCAA pool for like terrible governors. Done like a Sweet 16 and seeded them until we got to a championship round, because there was a whole lot of nominees there. Holy smokes! Yeah,
there were. Oh, there were, and there still are. So let me ask, you've done, and I have too, on my career, we've done multiple formats, but I love talk radio. There's nothing in this world I would rather do, which is why at 78 I still do it, because I love it, its purpose, and I enjoy it.
What is for you, man? I didn't know you were 78. Good. I'm going to do this till I'm 100 if I can.
Yeah, well, me too, and that's what I'm going to ask you. Why? What is there about this format that so entices us?
I think it separates the wheat from the chaff. It's on us, right? I mean, well, you know this. Coming through music radio, you had a bad day, you play 10 songs in a row.
Yep.
You can't hide in this format. You can't.
Oh, that's so true. That is
I believe you have to be honest. I believe you have to be truthful, and I believe you have to give your opinion. I mean, I don't want squishy. I mean, I want an opinion. I want somebody to come hard at me, So.
Yeah, and I think there's I'm not, how can I put it? I'm not a hardcore one way or the other.
No, I understand that. Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
But my opinion is there. And I tell people, look, that's what this is about. And if you don't like it, please call and tell me why, It's the fun. I think the fun of it is
the same thing. And a lot of them do.
And the fun of it is interacting. I mean, that to me is half the battle. I tell people all the time, the most fun I can have, other than talking to somebody like you, is to have open phones and not know where the conversation is going to go.
Yeah. Yeah. We don't do a ton of that. We do
know
some. But a lot of it is self-contained. We've always done it, I guess, and it's the way that succeeded for us. But it doesn't. The cool thing about this format is there's no one set in stone way to do it. You can freelance it and do some other things and try different things and, see what works. But I like the idea that it's you and me. It's like, it's me, it's the audience, and we're talking directly to you.
Right.
And, I don't have to play bad records either, which is nice.
How do you feel with 3 voices in your format rather than 2, which would be more normal?
Yeah, I think it's kind of know your lane. I mean, I know when to pull back and when to open up, and I know what my role is, and David's and Jamie's, and Jamie's sort of the quarterback, and David and I are both the running back, whoever gets the ball. And it takes time to develop that chemistry, but once it's there, we very rarely walk on each other. I mean, we have a good rapport, and it is sort of something that no one does, but we decided to do it anyway. And, a lot of people will say they like the show because they laugh.
Yeah.
And I find that cool. They don't go, well, it was that really great take you had on, Donald Trump or whatever. They say, hey, you guys, we laugh. And we harpoon everybody. I mean, everybody's a target,
Yeah.
So,
and I find that true when I listen. I enjoy the humor part of the show because it lightens it. It's not all,
right.
hit you over the head with it, and I like that.
I can't do flamethrower, man. I don't want to do flamethrower. No. It's not fun.
Yeah, that's true. Let me ask you about the pandemic during COVID, and because of your past health history, did you work from home?
Yes. And the building I live in a high rise. the building I live in, I can either work from home or I can go up the elevator 2 floors. So I didn't really have to go anywhere during the pandemic.
Oh,
really good.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, because of my health situation too. I was very leery. I was very vigilant, put it that way.
Yeah.
My daughter is a nurse practitioner, and so she was dealing with COVID on the front lines way before it became like a thing.
Yeah.
But so I didn't get a chance to see her as often as I would have liked. But we all sacrificed. We all did.
Yep. Well, I'm still at home.
I got both my shots.
Yep.
You're still at home now?
I'm still
Okay.
broadcasting from
I didn't
home.
know.
Yeah, being the old man on the staff, they sent me home last March, a year ago March, and I've been here ever since.
Wow.
So
do you have your vaccines? Are you getting
Oh
vaccinated?
yeah, I was vaccinated early on. As a matter of fact, I was vaccinated on the radio in January for the first shot. They came and one of the reasons the medical society had called me, and they were having problems getting particularly minority communities registered to get vaccinated. So they wanted to do a show. And the doc asked me, have you been vaccinated? I said, no. So he said, okay, well, we'll come out to the house. So they vaccinated my wife and I. And then the second shot, we went into the hospital for it. But yeah, we've been vaccinated since January, and no regrets on my part.
No, none on mine either. I braced for the second one in particular. I thought I was going to take the day off work and everything else, and it turned out I was fine.
Yeah, me too.
Which then I went to the other side and went, was that a placebo? Am I part of a test market? All the paranoid thoughts that run through your mind, right?
Yeah.
So, I've done well, and I'm glad I have it. And I've kind of gotten back to the way I was before. I went to the grocery store Friday, not wearing a mask.
Yep.
Went out to dinner over the weekend, not wearing a mask. It was great.
Yeah, I think there is a certain sense of normalcy returning. It's a question of
I do too.
What's it going to look like in the long run?
run?
Yeah, what's it going to look like in the long run? That I'm not sure of. Yet.
What has it done? What has it done to communities like Saugatuck, for instance, in Michigan, which is so tourist heavy? I've been to Saugatuck. Great. But, those are the towns I worry about because so much of their income is derived from people coming in,
Well, they are returning. The other problem they're having is labor. Can't find anybody who wants to work. Can you hang on?
Well, no.
Can you hang on?
Yeah.
Let me take a break and I'll be right back.
Sure.
We're talking to Scott Bobbins
right.
from Markley, VanCamp and Robbins on the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW.
Save big money in your next project with 11% off everything right now at Menards. Give a beautiful, rich color to your projects with Minwax Wood Finish. Minwax is a penetrating stain that enhances all types of wood. All quarts and gallons are 11% off. Get 11% off everything now at Menards. Good through June 12th. Savings are mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
Research shows that people remember radio ads with a booming is all the main points. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual Insurance Company customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need.
That part is super important.
Here's one with a booming voice.
I'm emphasizing everything.
Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance.
Like a page with every word highlighted.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
I'm CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger with a quick tip from H2O Wireless on stretching your budget and saving money every month. Start with your recurring monthly bills, and here's the easiest one, your cell phone bill. Verizon, T-Mobile charge premium rates for unlimited data, when in all actuality, you have no need for that much data. H2O Wireless, on the other hand, is on the exact same network as one of those carriers, but charges you half. The average family of four is saving over $70 a month without having to sacrifice coverage. And listen to this, unlimited talk, text, and 15 gigs of data for just $36 per month. Switching is as easy as swapping out your SIM card. You can keep your phone and your phone number. Here's how to get the best deal. This month, dial pound 250 and say keyword get H2O. You'll save an additional 50% off your first month. Dial pound 0 and say get H2O for this exclusive offer and start saving today.
I
am so ready to go back to work.
I just need a chance.
So where do I start?
MidMichiganWork.com. Housebeck Pickles and Peppers has been in business since 1923 and would like to invite you to join their team. Stop by their on-site job fair Tuesday, June 22nd, 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. No appointment needed. Hiring managers will be on site to discuss positions, conduct interviews, and hire on the spot. Seasonal help is needed for sorters, forklift operators, tank washers, grading crews, and more. Bring a valid ID Tuesday, June 22nd to 634 Kendrick Street in Saginaw for the Housebeck Pickles and Peppers Job Fair, 10 a.m. till 3 p.m.
I'm Dr. Andrea Russo, Maybe you're waiting to talk to your doctor right now. But if you're having an irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness, don't wait. This could be a serious condition like atrial fibrillation, which can make you about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. If you're having these symptoms, don't wait. Talk to a doctor by phone, online, or in person.
Brought to you by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer. Guys, stop putting your love life on hold. U.S. Pharmacy has some exciting news. If you've been wanting to try Viagra or Cialis, now's the perfect time. Call today and receive 90 little blue or little yellow pills for only free shipping. Why order some low-dose sildenafil from one of those subscription services when we can give you what you want now? Call 800-990-6271 and we'll rush your order discreetly packaged to your door. Been thinking about trying Viagra or Cialis? Call U.S. Pharmacy at 800-990-6271 for as little as only $119 for 90 pills. Need your package in a hurry? Call 800-990-6271 and ask about our express shipping option, and we'll rush your order to you as soon as possible. Save money on the little blue or yellow pill you've been wanting to try. Again, 800-990-6271 now. That's 800-990-6271.
This is the Stone Specialist Studios, 100.5 News Radio WSGW, 790 News Radio WSGW.
Back with you on the Art Lewis Show, sponsored by Linda Shepard at Pinnacle Realty. For all of your residential and commercial real estate needs, give Linda a call at 989-295-7713. We're talking to Scott Bobbins from Markley, VanCamp and Robbins. And Scott, I do not ever remember a time in my life where I have seen so many help wanted signs and so few people willing to work.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. It's everywhere. But, you know, I mean, this is certainly not in defense, but I understand the reasoning behind it. I mean, when I can sit home and get my my money through the mail from the government, then what is the motivation to go back to work?
And more than I was probably making when I was working.
Probably that's a simplistic approach, perhaps, but I think that's a real issue. I don't think it's a make-believe pretend issue. I think it's really happening out there. There's no other reason for that, right?
Yeah. Well, they did a couple other things too, and I think they were mistakes. They took away the requirement that you look for work while you're collecting unemployment. Now that's being reinstated in a lot of states, including Michigan. But still, now, I think you got to look once a week. You know, whoopee. You know.
Yeah, and you've got to turn in your receipts.
Yeah.
You got to say, here it is, and there's a little form to fill out or whatever. I mean, it reminds me of the old Seinfeld episode when, you know, George was Vandeling Industries with Keith Hernandez, who was trying to get his unemployment extended. Yeah. And that was part of it. He had to have so many every week in order to have it be extended. So, yeah, I hadn't thought about that before, but you're absolutely right. Yeah.
And I understand there are certain reasons that are legitimate. There are certain child care issues that have to be resolved. And listen, in every rule, there are exceptions. We know that. But as a general principle, I don't think this was handled very well at all.
No, you're absolutely right about that.
So,
yep. I 100% agree with you.
Yep.
And we are paying the price now. Again, best laid plans sometimes, you know?
Yeah. Now there's, I think, 80 members of Congress have asked the president for another stimulus check. And I'm going, what?
Yeah.
So
well, you know, guys, I certainly won't, and I'm not going to be around to pay the consequences of what's going on now.
Me either.
But it's going to be grandkids and great grandkids that are going to have to deal with this.
Somebody's going to have to deal with it, that's for sure. And money doesn't grow on trees.
Somebody's going to hold Grandpa accountable too. Like, what were you thinking? What is your generation thinking? Like, we don't know. We weren't thinking.
No.
Yeah.
I mean,
I've always loved the Biden administration too. It's almost like Biden has got some role in any of this. I mean, it's all being done for Joe.
Yeah, it would seem so. But
Joe's the guy they prop up.
Yeah, there's no rhyme or reason. You cannot spend yourself out of this predicament. I don't care.
No.
Yet there is, I had said many, many years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, when Trump came to office, I said that I thought the first thing he should do is go after an infrastructure bill, because he would get bipartisan support and he could start his administration with bipartisan support on a major issue. He didn't. He went after health care, and that's fine. It needed to be. But I think that we're paying the price now, because what happened to Trump is now going to happen to Biden. Nothing is going to happen. And what makes Biden even more tenuous is Joe Manchin, because he has all the power right now. He literally
absolutely
has all the power in the Senate.
And he and Sinema too, to a certain extent.
Yep. It's going to be interesting to watch him.
And by the way, this has got nothing to do with what they think is the right thing to do. This has everything to do with survival and politics.
No, it's all politics.
That's all. Yeah. That's all this is. Yeah. This is not some moral compass that went off or something.
Now, I will say this, and you may not agree with it, and that's fine. I have said for a long time that the far left and the far right make all the noise. Most people don't live there. I think the majority of the American public lives somewhere in the middle.
Well, you and I are preaching from the same pulpit here, because I just had this conversation today. There was a local sheriff, 30 years in the job, has just retired. And his piece of advice to the people that were under him, police officers, was simple, was they're making a lot of noise. And in this tape, he was talking about the far left and the cancel culture,
right?
But they're the minority. And somehow you have to tune that out, although they're in your face all the time. But we've seen how many corporations bend their knee to this. I mean, they've been, and I agree with you. If you talk to normal people, just people who go about their business, they go to work every day, they provide for their families, they go to church, they go to sporting events, they do things, ask them what they think. They're not, because those are the only people that matter. The people that wanted to cancel the police were the people who didn't need the police.
Yeah.
Until they do. On the south side of Chicago and ask them if they want police canceled. But they'll tell you no.
Yep. True.
I mean, I mean, these people that advocate for these things, it doesn't directly affect them. They have no skin in the game, so you can say whatever you want.
Yep.
So that's the thing.
And they've got.
I only care about
They got social media to say it on now.
Absolutely, they've got a platform, and they use that platform, and but what happens is because the newsrooms are chasing social media, not the other way around. They see this and they just feel like everyone feels that way. So that's how they bring their news to us.
Yep.
And we don't agree with that. We don't all think that way. I mean, we don't, and the majority of the people don't. They sit somewhere in the middle. They just want rational, nonsensical measures being brought that protect them and their family.
I've always said that the good ideas are not exclusive to one side or the other. And I had a friend many, many years ago who was a Democrat, but he was a congressman and a very influential one back in the 90s. And he told me there were 3 Ds to politics: debate, deliberate, and decide. Boy, are they a million miles from that today. They don't sit down and talk.
Right. I mean, it's a million miles. Things are nasty. Things are hateful, and I don't see that turning around anytime soon.
No, I don't either.
I mean, and if you disagree with me, you're a racist, or you're a sexist, or you're a homophobe, or whatever. You're labeled immediately.
Yep. Well,
I mean, you say to yourself, "I'm not a racist or a homophobe." What is that? But they've convinced you that you are.
Yeah. Well, listen, my friend.
I stand by my convictions, man.
Me too. I mean, and that's it's who we are. It's how you grew up. It's where you came from. Life is an accumulation of experiences, and it's how you use them. Scott, I got to tell you, this was a great pleasure.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Truly enjoyed it, and I wish you well health-wise in the future, and wish you have a long career.
Well, I hope to stop in and see you someday.
Hey, please do. We'd love it. Not that far. You're in Peoria. We're here in Saginaw. A few hours. So
that's it.
Hey, we'll
All
have
right,
to
buddy.
do that sometime. All right,
Yeah,
Scott.
absolutely. All right, good luck to you too. All right, see you
Thanks.
later.
Talk to you. Bye-bye
Bye,
now.
you bet.
Scott Bobbins from Markley, VanCamp and Robbins. We thank him for joining us today. And we'll be back a couple of things to bring up and chat at the end of the hour. And if you want to try and get in, we can probably squeeze a call or two in. All ahead here on the Art Lewis Show.
And the winner is...
Who doesn't love to win? Now you can win big at Wildfire Credit Union with the Great Loan Payoff. Finance any security fire from May through August, and Wildfire might just pay it off up to $50,000. That's right, they are paying off a loan up to $50,000 for one lucky winner, maybe even me. Loans must be approved by noon on August 31st to qualify. The Wildfire Great Loan Payoff drawing takes place in September. The winner will be notified immediately. Anyone who finances a secured or signature loan through Wildfire from May through August wins big with great rates and terms.
It's easy and convenient to apply. Just ask for Wildfire financing at your dealership. Apply online or directly at your nearest Wildfire branch. The Great Loan Payoff, now through August. Only at Credit Union. Distinctively better. Loans subject to credit approval. Restrictions apply. Visit wildfirecu.org/payoff for details.
Before buttons, things were much harder, like starting an outboard motor. Or even treating sleep apnea. If you've tried CPAP but struggle to get a good night's sleep, relief can be as easy as a button with Inspire.
Inspire is a sleep apnea treatment that works inside your body with just the click of a remote. No mask, no hose, just sleep. To learn more, visit inspiresleep.com. Apnea innovation. Inspire is not for everyone. Talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you and review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider and are only available if the provider determines a prescription is appropriate. Subscription required. Additional restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information.
My husband's ED was affecting our marriage. When he first started experiencing ED, it was difficult for both of us. We didn't know who to talk to about it or where to get help. HIMSS was our answer. HIMSS connected my husband with a licensed provider online to treat his ED at a fraction of the price people pay for the name brand. It was delivered to our door, and guess what? Our sex life is back. It works.
Right now, get your first online provider's visit totally free when you go to forhims.com/love. Yep, free. No copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. Just the care you need.
Thanks to HIMSS, we got our sex life and our marriage back.
To start your free online visit, go to this exclusive address, forhims.com/love. That's forhims.com/love for your free online visit. ms.com/LOVE.
For over 40 years, Region 7 Area Agency on Aging has focused on helping our citizens and providing them with a wide range of free services. From helping you find the right drug plan to helping your loved ones get innovative care at home, with access to in-home medical care, medical transportation, and so much more. Call the Region 7 Area Agency on Aging today at 800-858-1637 or visit us online at region7aaa.org.
1-2, swing and a miss. Oh boy, the changeup. Career high strikeout number 10. Skubal, first time he has reached double digits.
The Tigers play 6:50 tonight on 790 News Radio WSGW.
Hi, we're back with you here on WSGW, the Art Lewis Show. Nice to have you with us. On this Tuesday, we thank Scott Bobbins for spending all that time with us. If you followed the news this morning, you heard that federal authorities figured out how to get back quite a bit of the money that Colonial Pipeline paid to the hackers, the ransomware people. They recovered most of the $4.4 million cryptocurrency ransom payment. When they say most, some of it has to do with the fact, I think they got back $2.3 million, but because Bitcoin is up and down like a yo-yo, I'm not sure exactly what that represents percentage-wise of what was paid. And they turned the tables on the dark side, an organization believed to be housed in Russia. It's going to be interesting to see how forceful Joe Biden is with Putin when they meet. Is he going to bring these things up? Is he going to be forceful? Is he going to take some action that's meaningful? Because most of this is coming out of Russia. And if they're allowing it to happen, even if the Russian government isn't doing it themselves, if they're allowing it to happen and not taking action against these known groups, then they're culpable. So I think that, that this is maybe we've had the first chink in the armor. And apparently, at a Justice Department briefing, the FBI Deputy Director, Paul Abate, said investigators were able to trace the payment to a virtual currency wallet, and then they seized the $2.3 million in cryptocurrency. Yeah, it apparently this Bitcoin stuff is traceable, and they figured out how to do it. And of course, if you want to hit them hard, you hit them in the pocketbook. Take away that money, and when it becomes unprofitable, it won't be done anymore. That's the bottom line. Now, one other thing we've talked about. Cruise industry is getting ready to fire up and sail out of Miami and Texas and other ports. But in Florida, it is a political storm between the governor, Ron DeSantis, and the Centers for Disease Control. The cruise lines are advertising new summer sailings with vaccination requirements. But Florida has told industry you can't require vaccinations. So who takes the lead? Is it going to be Florida, or is it going to be the CDC that has the ultimate authority? One cruise line, Royal Caribbean, one of the biggest, and it's a holding company because they have several cruise lines within their portfolio, if you will. Royal Caribbean has just said that they are reversing its positions. Only its ships departing from Seattle and the Bahamas on or before August 1st will require passengers 16 and older to be vaccinated. No vaccination requirements for its sailings from Texas or Florida. And in Florida, because of Florida law, the business can be fined for requiring customers to show proof of vaccination. Now, eventually this is going to end up in court. Who has the authority? Does the federal government, through the CDC, have the authority to tell the cruise lines who operate under various federal regulations that you have to require vaccinations? Or does the governor of Florida have the ability to override that? You know it's going to end up in court. You just know it's going to be in court. It'll be worth watching. We're talking about big industries. The cruise lines are, billion-dollar industries. They're not mom and pop stores around the corner that the state government can come in and browbeat. These are huge companies. So it's going to be interesting. And I also think if Florida pushes too far, they will lose some of these cruise lines. They'll go elsewhere. Time will tell. Let's take our last break, and then we will be back to close out this edition of the Art Lewis Show.
Oh, wow. I love what you've done to your kitchen.
Thanks. We did new countertops and a new sink and faucet.
Oh, it looks great. Did you do all the work yourself?
Oh, no. Department at Reamer Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning. They helped us select the right choice for us from their wide selection of countertop material, and we love it. We shopped around, too. Reamer had the best selection and the best pricing.
So, what's your next project?
Well, since we love our new kitchen, we plan to do the bathroom next.
Oh, wow.
This time, we'll go
See all the new things they have for the bathroom.
Visit the showroom at Reamer Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning to see countertop displays of Cambria quartz and Corian, kitchen sinks made of Corian, stainless steel, quartz, swanstone, and cast iron, plus a large display of kitchen faucets from several manufacturers. One is perfect for your lifestyle and budget. Shop local. Shop Reamer. Go to reamerplumbing.com.
Any way you spell it. Quality.
I want to tell you about a great opportunity for seniors 60 and older. The Saginaw County Commission on Aging is holding free virtual Tai Chi classes every Monday and Wednesday via Zoom. Tai Chi is a very gentle stress and anxiety reducer. It helps increase flexibility and balance. So if you're interested in meeting new friends in a fun and friendly social environment and would like to give Tai Chi and all of its health benefits a try, give Saginaw County Commission on Aging a call to reserve your space. Classes will be virtual until social can be relaxed. If interested, call Carol at 989-790-3289 for more information. That's 790-3289. RSVP is required for Zoom login information for free virtual Tai Chi classes with the Saginaw County Commission on Aging.
For the ones standing guard. For the eagle-eyed. For the knights in shining armor. And for all those who support them. We are Grainger, your experienced safety partner, offering supplies and solutions for every industry, committed to helping keep and your people safer. Call clickgrainger.com/safety or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
All right, that'll do it for the Art Lewis Show. Thanks for being with us today. Coming up on Focus, the Saginaw area fireworks. Talk to you after the news.
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Facet Wealth.
And Congress is pressing for answers in the ransomware attack that shut down a major East Coast pipeline.
Colonial Pipeline CEO Joseph Blount began with an apology.
We are deeply sorry for the impact that this attack had.
Blount says he made the decision to pay and kept that info as confidential as possible. He stands by his company's response.
Heart, it was the right choice to make.
So how do they move forward and protect themselves from future attacks?
We have rebuilt and restored our critical IT systems and are continuing to enhance our safeguards.
Stacey Lynn, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
There was trouble on the internet this morning, but it wasn't due to hackers. Many major sites like Amazon and PayPal displayed an error message, and several news sites were no help to find out what was going on since they fell victim too. CBS News technology reporter Dan Patterson says it was an outage of the cloud service called Fastly.
When you search out a website or you go to a domain, it gets routed through servers. When traffic can't resolve to a particular website, your web browser just gives this error and says, hey, I'm having problems getting to this website.
A Senate report finds wide security and intelligence failures leading up to the January attack at the U.S. Capitol. CBS's Chris Van Cleve.
The report says around 75% working on the 6th did not have protective equipment like helmets and shields. One unit wasn't able to access their gear because it was locked in a bus. Some riot shields had been improperly stored and shattered when used.
The government's pushing hard for adolescents to get vaccinated now against COVID-19. CBS's Vicki Barker says there may be a second vaccine option for them soon.
Pfizer's COVID vaccine has already received emergency use approval for children as young as 12. Now Moderna's CEO says he believes his vaccine could be available to kids as young as 5 by the early fall.
Vice President Harris is in Mexico today, latest stop on her first foreign trip.
Getting a handle on increasing illegal immigration is the focus of today's meetings with Mexico's president. But during her stay, Vice President Kamala Harris will also talk about business opportunities for women, entrepreneurs, and labor specialists. The official photo will be taken in front of a famous mural painted by Mexican artist and social activist Diego Rivera. Adrian Bard, CBS News, Mexico City.
The government says employers posted more than 9 million job openings in April, about 1 million more than the month before. Hiring continues to lag. Wall Street right now, the Dow is down 18 points. NASDAQ is up 28 points. This is CBS News.
Facet Wealth, personalized and affordable financial planning for everyday Americans. No wealth or asset minimums. Quality financial advice for every stage of your life.
If you're thinking that the UPS store is only about packing and shipping,
I sort of was.
Here's something else you should know. Mailboxing services. Just the ing to give your business that professional image.
I hadn't thought about that.
Once you see every ing we can do for your small business, it'll have you rethinking the UPS store.
I think I already have.
The UPS store. Every ing for small business. All in one place.
The UPS store.
The UPS store franchise locations are independently owned and operated. Services, pricing, and hours may vary. See Center for details.
For more details, check out the UPS store and the Green Acres Plaza in Saginaw or at theupsstore.com/3451.
For almost 20 years, Linex has been the only place to go for quality spray-on bed liner. But did you know they also offer rust-proofing and undercoating?
Their exclusive process will keep your new or used vehicle protected.
The guys at Linex have the only wax-based rust-proofing and military-spec undercoat to ensure years of protection.
In fact, all new vehicles protected will get a lifetime warranty. No yearly touch-ups required.
And because the rust-proofing process is wax-based, you won't have any long-term dripping or mess to clean up car, truck, or SUV and protect it year-round.
Linex is located on Wilder Road in Bay City.
Give them a call at 989-671-9820 or call them at their Grand Blanc location, 810-695-9000.
Remember, your new car, truck, or SUV gets a lifetime warranty with no yearly touch-up required.
Again, the number in Bay City is 989-671-9820 or in Grand Blanc, 810-695-9000.
I'm Dr. Andrea Russo, a cardiologist. Maybe you're waiting to talk to your doctor right now. But if you're having an irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness, don't wait. This could be atrial fibrillation, which can make you about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. If you're having these symptoms, don't wait. Talk to a doctor by phone, online, or in person.
Brought to you by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Cloudy skies and 80 degrees at 11:05. Good morning, I'm Mike Percha. Bay County Sheriff's deputies responded to a fatal motorcycle crash in the area of Linwood and 8 Mile Roads last Friday. Police have identified 58-year-old David Robitoy and his 55-year-old wife, who were riding a 2016 Harley-Davidson east on Linwood Road around 7:25 p.m. when they collided with a 2000 GMC Sonoma. The truck was a Midland man who was making a turn into a driveway directly into the path of the motorcycle, according to police. Both riders were wearing their helmets. But Robitoy was killed at the scene while the woman suffered critical injuries. She was first taken to Covenant Healthcare in Saginaw for surgery before being transferred to Henry Ford Hospital, where she remains in critical condition. The Midland man suffered minor injuries. He was arrested on charges of driving while intoxicated, causing death and serious injury. An investigation is underway following an early Monday morning tractor accident in Gratiot County that took the life of a 10-year-old child. The boy had been riding on the tractor's fender when it hit a bump. The child then fell and was run over. A family member was behind the wheel of the tractor. The accident remained under investigation, but currently there are no pending charges. More updates have been heard on Saginaw's lead service line replacement plan, with the largest part, which is nearly half of the city's recently passed $132 million budget going towards water services. City Council heard a public update on the roadmap of the lead service. In addition to already approved funds, Paul Reich, Director of Water and Wastewater, says the city can seek even more through forgivable low-interest loans recently approved by the state, which would essentially be a grant of up to $5 million. WSGW News Time, 11:07.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/work. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds that powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job in ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's at ZipRecruiter.com/work. That's ZipRecruiter.com/work. ZipRecruiter.com/work.
WSGW News Time 11:08. The weather forecast is coming up next. The parents of 2 legally blind girls have filed a federal lawsuit against 2 suburban Detroit school districts and a vision specialist whom they allege sexually abused their daughters in a school library. The federal suit filed Monday names the Garden City and Livonia districts the specialist officials. No criminal charges have been filed. Both girls were 8 years old at the time of the alleged assaults in Garden City's Douglas Elementary in 2018 and 2019. Garden City Police, its investigation is one of the cases. 3 have been turned over to the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office. There's a plan to cut down on those wait times for unemployment benefits in Michigan. Here's Michigan News Network's Rob Mason.
Claimants can now begin calling in on a specific day and time provided by the UIA wait times while reporting work search activity. The certification day and time will correspond with the last 2 digits of their social security number. If you're unable to certify on your scheduled day and time, you may certify on Thursday or Friday of your certification week, regardless of your social security number. UIA officials say those who received unemployment benefits were required to search for work and report at least 1 week search activity per week. When
you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom at 752-0790. It's 11:10. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW Weatherology forecast. We'll see a few scattered showers and thunderstorms here for today with mostly cloudy skies, a high into the mid-80s. Winds will be light and variable. And then for tonight, we'll have mostly cloudy skies, a low near 68. By Wednesday, a chance for showers and thunderstorms. Partial sunshine develops, a high around 86. Chance for showers and storms here late. Blend of clouds and sunshine develops, and a high around 86. Friday, another chance for showers and thunderstorms here late. Blend of clouds and sunshine, a high around 86 degrees. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW Weatherology forecast. Currently, it's 76.
Now, it's time to focus as WSGW presents the people, the places, the businesses, the culture, the area events and activities, all put into focus on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com. Focus is brought to you by Northeastern Paint Home Decorating Centers in Saginaw and Bay City. For all your home decorating needs, trust Northeastern Paint Supply, serving you since 1959.
And welcome to another edition of Focus here on WSGW. Today, we focus on the Saginaw area fireworks. And to do that, we talk to the head honcho. We say good morning to Tom Roy. Tom, good morning to you.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Doing well, thanks. I guess we need to start, before we get into your needs for volunteers and things like that, let's talk about the big picture. We are going to have Saginaw area fireworks this year. Is that correct?
That is correct. We've been planning since May, after the president said that we were going to have everyone basically vaccinated by the end of May. And then once the governor started lifting her restrictions, we decided, we're going full force to make sure that we had fireworks.
So let's, compared to past fireworks, what's this going to be like in terms of A, the size of the fireworks, and B, where the public can watch from?
Well, it's going to be a bigger show with the fireworks display. Unfortunately, we're not having a band and things really prepare for that. We're still going to have the parachute jumpers and things like that and music on the island, but just no bands and nothing really extravagant like we have built up. It's going to be great. And of course, you can watch them on Ojibwe Island. You can also watch them on the Embry Lot as well as the banks of the river.
So I know there is a need for volunteers. How much of a need is there?
Well, we last year, I'm not sure if you know, but we collected many cans and bottles and plastic from the general public. And we have about 3 huge 53-foot containers still full of them. And we've been working over the years, not the years, but the months to, basically get them turned in. But we really need to turn them in so we can, of course, pay for our fireworks. So we're having a June 19th. We're calling it Cans. We're having it at Saginaw High, and we're asking for, a bunch of open 50, 60 people, and we can separate the cans, the bottles, and the plastics so we can turn them in.
So this is not a request to bring more bottles and cans. This is a request to actually do something with what you have.
That is correct. We are still collecting cans because we're going to do it anyway, and we're doing it at Valley Real Estate on the corner of Warwick and Mackinac.
Right.
No, Warwick and Davenport. And people are still dropping the cans off, and we're still sorting and basically doing what we have to do.
I remember seeing those pickup trucks full, absolutely full of cans. Unbelievable.
They were.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. I will say the governor did us a great honor by not allowing the stores to take cans, and people wanted to get rid of it. So we got them. So we were very appreciative.
Now I have a question because of the limitations. How are you going to cash these things in? Do you have a way of getting around the machines in the stores?
Unfortunately, because we have an account with Fabiano Brothers, they will be taking all the cans and bottles for us. Yeah.
So
we just have to. That's why we have to separate them.
Yeah. So you're lucky that way then.
We are very lucky.
Yeah.
Very lucky.
Yep. Yep. How is one of the things we miss? Of course, the auction used to be a big fundraiser for the fireworks and things of that nature. Do you anticipate getting back to any of those in the future?
Yes, like this Friday, we're going to start our Tim Hortons collection, which we used to do every year, except last year. We're a little worried because of people aren't really paying with cash anymore because of the COVID thing.
Yeah.
But hopefully, what we get is still good. And then, of course, we're having a wine tasting in September. So I mean, we're starting, and of course, COVID is over. We're going to be going full throttle because we want to make sure again next year we have a great show.
This show this year, compared to past shows, size-wise?
It's going to be a little bigger than the 2019 show. We put some more resources towards it because we're not doing a band and things like that. So it's going to be a bigger show.
All right, Tom, hang on. We got to take a break. We'll come back and talk more with Tom Roy from the Saginaw Area Fireworks. More ahead here on the Focus program.
Northeastern Paint, Home Decoration Center. We're more than a custom paint store. We have everything you need. From carpet to lighting, it's all here. With quality and satisfaction guaranteed. Northeastern Paint, Home Decoration Center.
Since 1959, count them, that's 62 years, Northeastern Paint Supply has been serving the Tri-Cities. We have the most knowledgeable staff in the area, offering you the highest quality products in the industry. Benjamin Moore Paints, Hunter Douglas Blinds, Quazell and Kitchener Lighting, Flooring from Flooring America, Fireplace Doors, gas logs, and custom-made rugs. It's all here under one roof. Northeastern Paint Supply, Saginaw and Bay City.
Northeastern Paint, Home Decoration Center.
Kick off summer with this free community event, Concert for a Cause. Join singer Cherie Williams along with the Robert Lee Review Band, Lori and the Lefties, and the Sheriff's and family games. Bring your lawn chair and don't forget your friends. Thursday, June 17th from 5 p.m. until 8:30 p.m. in the Y Courtyard overlooking the Saginaw River. The YMCA of Saginaw, strengthening your community for 153 years.
Napa know-how.
Celebrate Dad all month at Napa with the Evercraft 100-piece screwdriver set for $19.99. To a regular person, that might seem like an excessive number of screwdrivers. But to Dad, that's just being prepared, like buying a paper map in case the GPS goes rogue. That's the Evercraft 100-piece screwdriver set for $19.99. Well, that's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
At participating locations while supplies last. Offer ends 6/30/21.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So, while a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
All season long, it's Detroit Tigers baseball on WSGW.
Fly ball, center field, hits way back, and the Tigers take the lead. Eric Haas with a 2-run shot. How about it? 8-7 Tigers.
Oh, Maggie May, how about that?
Brought to you in part by DCECU,
Schaefer Beer Line, and Frankenmuth.
Lingle Equipment Company. Your home for the Tigers is WSGW. Direct from the Stone Specialist Studios. This is 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back with you on Focus, talking to Tom Roy from the Saginaw Area Fireworks. Tom, let's talk about paying for all of this. How is the fireworks doing financially in terms of paying for the show?
Art, didn't you say you were going to write a check?
I don't listen, man. Tell you what, I don't know how I do it, but I ended up and always end up donating to the fireworks one way or another. Whether it's by a check or whether it's cash in cans, it never fails. You get some of my money.
We do appreciate that. That's very nice. Most of our contributions, we are totally nonprofit, which means people that write checks, they get to write it off. But it's funded by donors, people reaching in their pocket, sponsors, and basically some, not grants, but people donating things like, Saginaw Parks and Rec. They're gonna donate or pay for all our porta potties this year, which doesn't seem like a lot, but it is. I mean, it's a $2,500 expense, something like that. Because we supply all the porta potties in the area, and we want to make sure people have the available conveniences. So we take care of that. But our bingo is very successful every Sunday. We also have Tim Hortons and the wine tasting, and I believe next year, because we couldn't really have it in this spring, but we'll be doing another golf outing.
So you have a variety of ways to raise the money. You have to, right?
Yes, most definitely. In the past, and probably this year, our budget is about $125,000 to $150,000.
Wow. So let's talk about the island. Is the island going to be open to traffic, limited traffic, or do you have to have you buy a pass to get on the island? How does that work?
Yep, the island is basically for fireworks. People that want to watch fireworks, you can buy a parking pass at Valley Real Estate or Mike's Wrecker. They're $25 each to get on the island. Unfortunately, no scooters or bikes. You can certainly walk on the island for free, but if you're going to have a car, you need to have a car pass.
All right. Otherwise, there will be other parking available.
Yes, I believe that Anderson Richmond usually does. I know Larry Brethauer from White Park, they park. And there's a lot of various places they're going to have parking.
In past there's been food on the island. Are you going to do that this year?
Yes, I believe we're working with Bob Johnson. He's one of our board members, and we're going to have a bunch of. We're going to probably have 5 or 6 food trucks on the island. I can't tell you which ones they are, but
that'll be different.
Yes, it'll be close to the Court Street Bridge so people that are on the Court Street Bridge don't have to walk all the way to the Ombre lot, because we do have food trucks there, but it'll be closer on the island so they can get their snacks and their goodies.
And the fireworks usually shoots off about what, 10:15 roughly?
Yeah, 10:15, 10:20, depends on how dark it gets.
You'll be using the bridge this year like you have in the past? Will there be fireworks off of the Remington Bridge?
We will be using the bridge. We have some things that we have to work out on certain things like the waterfall, but hopefully everything will work out perfect.
All right, let's go back to where we started this conversation. That's with volunteers. Not only for sorting the cans, but it takes volunteers to run the island too, doesn't it?
Yeah, so like we have the picnic, we have gate people, we have cleanup. Fortunately, Bill Georges brings on a couple of Boy Scout troops, and they help rake the islands, and they clean it up with sticks and things like that, and just make it as perfect as we possibly can. And I know that there's basically we have people that things like that. So I mean, unfortunately, we need quite a few volunteers.
Where does somebody go for information about that and to register to volunteer?
They can go on our Facebook page. They can go on our website. We will be having a new website probably up and running in the next 2 weeks, which will have an easy button that hits donate, and you can put your name in it and things like that. We also have our board member, Lee Hammond, which is our board volunteer coordinator, and you can reach her at SaginawAreaFireworks.com, and basically tell me you want.
And for the can drive, you just need people to show up, or do they have to pre-register?
Yes. Nope, they just need to show up. Councilman Bill Oshkosh is helping organize the situation with some other community leaders. And it's going to be, hopefully it's going to be a great turnout. We'd like to at least, like I said, 50 to 60 people coming in there, bringing the community together and separating the cans. We're going to have lunch provided and refreshments.
And where is it going to be again?
Saginaw High.
At Saginaw High. And what time?
From 10 a.m. to 3 p.m.
10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Show up at Saginaw High and volunteer to help sort the cans for the Saginaw area fireworks. Well, Tom, thanks for joining us this morning, and we're glad that the fireworks are in good health and back again.
Yes, we tried everything last year to have them somewhere. We even tried the Zilwaukee Bridge, but unfortunately it was a no-go. So this year we're excited, and we're pumped to have a great show.
All right. We'll talk to you again. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir.
Bye-bye now. Tom Roy, head of the Saginaw Area Fireworks. And again, if you want to volunteer, Saginaw High is the place to do it. We will take our last break and be back to move ahead to the farm show after these notes.
Usually work their hardest, weekdays from 2 to 7 p.m., June through September. And when they work harder, the cost of energy increases. By helping you make simple changes, Consumers Energy's summer peak rate can help lower your monthly bill and help Michigan switch to cleaner forms of energy. Together, we can keep Michigan beautiful for generations to come. Visit consumersenergy.com/summer rate to learn more.
Napa know-how. All month at Napa with the Evercraft 100-piece screwdriver set for $19.99. To a regular person, that might seem like an excessive number of screwdrivers. But to Dad, that's just being prepared, like buying a paper map in case the GPS goes rogue. That's the Evercraft 100-piece screwdriver set for $19.99. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
At participating locations while supplies last. Offer ends 6/30/21.
It's to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Get control of flies in your dairy operation with an integrated pest management program built around Clarifly.
Our products from Central Life Sciences. Clarifly Larvicide offers feed-through control that prevents the emergence of nuisance flies from the manure of treated animals by as much as 96%. And Starbar features a lineup of baits, traps, and sprays that address fly problems in all areas of your dairy operation. Flies can spread disease and lead to decreases in milk quality and yields. Learn how to limit their impact at centralflycontrol.com.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memory that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for the first ever Midland County Cornhole Tournament, presented by Forgotten Man Ministries. The player registration fee is usually $100, but if you go to RocketGrabPlus.com right now, you get yours half off. And the winner of the tournament takes home $1,000. The tournament is taking place Saturday, June 26th at the Eagle Ridge Church of God in Midland. Head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
On WSGW, brought to you by Northeastern Paint Supply in Saginaw and Bay City. For all your home decorating needs, trust Northeastern Paint Supply, serving you since 1959.
All right, that'll do it for this edition of Focus. We thank you for joining us. Back tomorrow with more. Terry Henny's Farm Show comes along next.
Before buttons, things were an outboard motor, or even treating sleep apnea. If you've tried CPAP but struggle to get a good night's sleep, relief can be as easy as a button with Inspire.
Inspire is a sleep apnea treatment that works inside your body with just the click of a remote. No mask, no hose, just sleep. To learn more, visit InspireSleep.com. Inspire, sleep apnea innovation. Inspire is not for everyone. Talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you and review important safety information at InspireSleep.com.
Let me tell you about the Lumberjack Restaurant in West Branch. For parties big or small, if you're feeding a whole bunch of SOBs, then let the Lumberjack Restaurant take care of the grub. Mouth-watering ribs, finger-licking chicken, creamy mac and cheese. Everyone in the neighborhood will be begging for an invite. So get your axe on that fancy phone of yours and visit lumberjackcatering.com to see how you can upgrade your next event with Lumberjack Catering.
Jay Farner here, CEO of Rocket Mortgage and Rocket Companies. Last year, we saw historically low mortgage interest rates. What you may not know is that interest rates are already starting to increase, and it's likely that trend is only going to continue. Our team of experts is standing by to help you save before rates go up. Don't look back and wish that. Call 833-8ROCKET or visit rocketmortgage.com.
Rocket. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender license in all 50 states and MLSConsumerAccess.org number 3030.
I'm Dr. Baker, an ER physician. If you're having leg pain, swelling, or redness, but haven't talked to your doctor yet, don't wait. This could be deep vein thrombosis, a blood clot which could travel to your lungs and lead to a pulmonary embolism, which could cause chest pain or discomfort or difficulty, be deadly. Your symptoms can mean something serious, so don't wait. Talk to a doctor right away, by phone, online, or in person.
Brought to you by Bristol-Myers Squibb and
China covered up what they knew directly led to this crisis.
News coverage.
The JBS meat factory, a ransomware attack. The World Health Organization influenced by China. I think that's a bit far out.
News coverage.
The coronavirus is behind us. We need to get back to work.
May jobs report. The country added 559,000 jobs and unemployment fell to 5.
Progress, historic progress.
News.
Get a shot and have a beer.
They Trump rally and always put America first.
News coverage on WSGW.
1-2, swing and a miss. Oh boy, the changeup. Career high strikeout number 10 for Tarek Skubal. First time he has reached double digits.
The Tigers play 6:50 tonight on 790 News Radio WSGW. Now, the only locally Show with agricultural news, information, interviews, more. It's Terry Hinney and his Farm Show on 100.5 and 790 News.
Well, a partly sunny good morning to you. I hope your day is going well for you, wherever you might be. We're having ourselves a pretty good day here. Busy. All sorts of things happening. And it is pretty warm outside. So thank goodness we're working inside today. 77 degrees at the airport with a calm breeze. So things just aren't really happening much at all outside. Very sticky. 76% is our humidity, 30.06, and steady is the barometric pressure. 80 degrees here at Radio Center. Downtown Midland, a little bit warmer, 79. Downtown Bay City is also looking at 79. A little bit more in the way of sunshine, especially in southeast Michigan. We're looking at a few other spots up in Michigan's Thumb where it is mostly cloudy there. A little bit of light rain being reported this hour over in the Battle Creek area. Muskegon has got a little bit heavier thunder shower going on, so heavier rain there. Some folks did pick up precipitation over the last 24 hours. If you picked up any, why don't you just like us on Facebook, Farm Service, and type in how much rain you have in your rain gauge overnight and early this morning. You'll be the envy of just about everybody out there because we are so short when it comes to precipitation, and it continues. 2/100ths of an inch of rain is what was in the rain gauge out at MBS International over in Michigan's Thumb. They did pick a little bit more up, and we did have some unofficial reports over in Michigan's Thumb of right around 2/10 of an inch. But again, very isolated. Auburn picking up 2/100ths of an inch for the most part in Huron County. 2-3/100ths of an inch, very common in a lot of the farm fields. Saginaw County, Frankenmuth just barely a trace. Saginaw about 2/100ths of an inch. Owasso, you picked up a little bit more. You picked up 1/10 of an inch. Durand less than that. Genesee County, a number of cities, again, reporting under 1/10 of an inch. But you get a little bit closer to the Ann Arbor area, Whitmore Lake, which is about 10, 15 minutes to the north of Ann Arbor on US 23. They had 0.8 of an inch in the last 24 hours. But all the other reporting stations down in that neck of the woods, not even close. Houghton Lake, a little bit further to the north, you had 0.2 of an inch in the rain gauge overnight. We did see 1/4 of an inch in Gladwin. Glenny picking up a little bit better than 0.2 of an inch, but that was about it from a lot of the reporting stations. Now, along the Lake Michigan shoreline overnight last night, they did have some thunderstorm activity, but as we mentioned, it appears right now as though they are getting some heavier precipitation over in that part of the state. But again, it is very isolated. What's going to be happening over the next 24 to 48 hours? We have 3 dominant weather factors influencing our weather, and that's the way it's going to work here for the next couple 3 days anyway. We're going to be looking at a high pressure system over eastern Tennessee. That's really not going anywhere. We have a low pressure system over Missouri. That's going to move into southern Illinois. And we have another low pressure system over eastern Montana, North Dakota. And that's going to be tracking into eastern Ontario province over the next 24 to 36 hours. So those 3 working together is what's going to continue to push all of this precipitation, or I should say not precipitation, but moisture-laden air up into and around the state of Michigan and hopefully into the Great Lakes Bay region where we could stand that shower activity. Just to kind of put it in perspective, the month of June, we should normally pick up a little bit better than 3 1/4 inches of rain. That's normal. That's what we should be looking at. Now, the wettest ever June was back in 1996. That was the year of the Frankenmuth tornado. we had just under 7 inches of rain out at the airport in June of 1996. The driest ever June was back in 1988, and I think a lot of you involved in agriculture can still remember that year. That was an exceptionally dry year, coming off, for the most part, a drought-like year in 1987. We only picked up 0.6 of an inch in the entire month of June in 1988. Well, where are we right now? 3/100ths of an inch is what we've picked up so far in the first 6 days of the month of June. So yeah, we've got a ways to go, and anything and everything can happen, but we're not getting started off on the right foot, and we really do need to see a little bit more activity. What are we looking at today, tomorrow, and Thursday? Pretty much carbon copy every day, where temperatures are going to be at least in the mid-80s, if not a little bit warmer, higher humidities, and nighttime lows around 70. Chance in the afternoon and the early evening of a widely scattered shower here and there. That's the weather forecast, as I said, for today, tomorrow, and Thursday. Friday really isn't going to be much different. It does appear as though on Thursday night and early Friday, there is going to be a little bit better chance of seeing some shower activity. But still, Friday really doesn't look like all that wet of a day. And for the most part, we're not going to change up things for Saturday, although the chances of precipitation are still going to be there. Saturday is going to be a little bit warmer, I think, than what we will be seeing over the next few days. Sunday, mostly sunny, and we will be looking at about 87, 88 degrees. But Sunday night, we're going to be in the upper 50s, right around 60 for a low. So we're going to break a little bit of a pattern there. Then moving into Monday, 82 is going to be our high with mostly sunny skies. To take us all the way through the 21st of the month, we're going to see a little bit of a give here to these above average temperatures. We're going to settle down just a tad, a lot closer to normal, especially that week encompassing the Father's Day weekend. Just before that will be a lot closer to average with these temperatures, but average then is right around 80 degrees in the afternoon and 59, 60 for a low at night. Unfortunately, that long-range outlook to take us through the 21st is for our precipitation values to still continue to be below average for this time of the year. More on the weather as we go through the broadcast. Standing by, Rick Hollister. He'll tell us what's going on with these markets. Obviously, continues to be a weather market. He comes along in just a moment. But before we touch base with him, we want to remind you the weather forecast brought to you by the folks at Nutrien Ag Solutions.
Nutrien Ag Solutions has the local expertise to recommend the corn, soybean, and other seed products that are the best fit for your field. Plus unparalleled agronomic support with products and services to unlock yield potential and improve crop performance from planting to harvest. Ask about our financing options to help you get more from every acre and lead the field. Visit your local Nutrien Ag Solutions branch or go to nutrienagsolutions.com.
Say, do you want to unlock the secret to higher yields? If you're applying dry fertilizer, the key to better yield potential is Titan XC. Titan XC is a fertilizer biocatalyst that unlocks and releases the bound-up nutrients in granular fertilizer, promoting better root uptake and plant growth. Drive performance this season and beyond. Release more nutrition. Expect better results with Titan XC. For more information, visit lpi.ag/unlock or contact your Nutrien Ag Solutions crop consultant today. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Wiki Crop Insurance. Remember, this year, last year, this fall, the headlines in agriculture are always the markets and especially the weather. Don't let Mother Nature give you sleepless nights and ruin your life. Wiki Crop Insurance of Chesaning is ready to secure your future and let you sleep well tonight. Rest easy, knowing that Kyle Byron at Wiki Crop Insurance has you covered. Give him a jingle today and learn more. 989-284-9975 or go to wikicrop.com on the web. Fast, reliable, and thorough Wiki Crop Insurance. You can depend on them. We say good morning to Rick Hollister. Rick, you're out and about these days.
Yeah, we've got a corporate meeting in Kansas City. so made the flight yesterday, and actually left with a few showers in southern Michigan and across northern Indiana, light showers. But looks like we had some pop-ups there in southern Michigan yesterday that a few people, maybe very few, but a few people might have gotten a little beneficial sprinkle, and the forecast looks to kind of stay the same, doesn't it?
How warm is it in Kansas City these days?
We were 91 yesterday for a high, supposed to be 89 for a high today, and lots of humidity, so fairly similar to the Michigan forecast.
And understand they've been a little dry out there too.
They have the grass along the edge of the freeways, and that is about all I saw here. But it's turning that summer light color green, and it looks like it's starting to brown out actually in spots. So, yeah, looking for moisture. I think that's pretty much the story in many areas. Other than you get right in the heart of the belt in Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, much parts of Indiana and Ohio have had some pretty beneficial rain. Not that they couldn't use another little drink, but it's all the fringe areas around the Midwest that sure are starting to really lack for precipitation.
And as I understand it, down in South America, the folks in Brazil aren't exactly lush with precipitation either, are they?
No, and we had put some moisture in the forecast for the Brazil corn crop, and in the southern areas where they've gotten a little more moisture right along, there continues to be that. But now their forecast is we look forward. Market's always trying to look forward. Looks a little drier again, and boy, people are really slashing. Private forecasts are really slashing that Brazilian corn crop, once estimated to be 105 to 107 million metric tons. And you see some private estimates clear down to 88 million metric tons for a total crop for Brazil down there. So quite a slash, but also interesting to see the same forecasters actually upping their total soybean production in Brazil as their soybean harvest ended up to be just better than expected in a lot of areas. Very, very curious.
So at this stage of the game, what's it doing to the market?
Well, we've gotten really choppy this week. Corn yesterday was sharply higher in the morning, sold off through the day, along with soybeans. We got a crop condition report last night, deterioration in the corn crop from last week. This is our second week of crop conditions report for corn, and we saw overall U.S. down about 4%. In Michigan, we dropped the crop conditions down about 7%, fell out of the good to excellent categories. And we're really starting to see and this is our first week for soybeans, the crop rated at 67% good to excellent. Last year it's 72 for the same time frame, 72% good to excellent. But we're really seeing the folks with the poor to very poor rated crops, out in the Northwest belt, northern Minnesota, South Dakota, North Dakota. It's just obvious those folks are really, really suffering to try and put together a crop this year, and just cannot get a rain up through there to get them soaked back up. So,
all right. Well, you take care, Rick. Have yourself a good day, okay?
All right, Terry. You too. Thanks.
We'll talk to you again. More as far as what the markets are doing. Over to Oppenheimer, we go with Doug Klein. The market report brought to you by Hudson Inc. Hey, Bader & Sons is now a part of Hudson Inc., serving mid-Michigan with 18 locations. They carry a full lineup of John Deere equipment and provide part service and support. All you got to do to find out more about Hudson Inc. is to go online. That's Hudson, HUTSONINC, HudsonInc.com. And by Quality Roasting of Reese, purchasing local soybeans, processing local beans, and marketing local Exceller meal, which is a high bypass soybean meal for your dairy herd. Quality Roasting of Reese, offering competitive, consistent prices for your soybeans. Call them today for a quote. Morning, Doug.
Good morning.
What are we looking at now?
Well, it looks like a little bit of green today. Precious metals selling off a little bit, but nothing major, less than 1% mostly. So anyway, here's your numbers. July corn is 683, up 3 3/4. December corn is 609 1/4, up 6 1/2. July soybeans 1583 1/4, up 23 cents. November soybeans, 14.55 3/4, up 15 3/4. The July wheat is 6.84 3/4, up 4 3/4, and December wheat 6.98 1/4, up 3 3/4. Crude oil 69.77, no new high there, up 54 cents. Heating oil is $2.12.50, up a penny. Gasoline $2.20.5, up a penny and a quarter. Natural gas $3.18 3/4, that's up 11 cents. Canadian dollar, U.S. dollar gets you $1.2093 at the border, that's up 14 ticks. The yen is at 109.46, up 22 ticks. The euro 121.77, down 12 ticks. The dollar's at 90.08, that's up 12.5 ticks. Gold's at $18.93.80, down $3. Silver's at $27.76, down 25.5 cents. Platinum's at $11.59 even, that's down 15.80.
Sounds good.
Yeah, and there's a big election in Peru, so that's copper country. The socialists versus the capitalists, and it's running neck and neck. So could be interesting. And the socialist is ahead, and they're talking about penalizing the copper industry. So who knows? That's what they're dealing with there.
Sounds familiar.
A little bit.
Gonna penalize somebody. Huh? Doug, have a good one.
All right.
We'll talk to you again tomorrow. Doug Klein over at Oppenheimer. Along with me, Jerry Samalski, Bay Landscaping and Garden Center in Essexville. Jerry, I was just taking a look at the crop progress report, and I guess I was kind of surprised that, like corn, only about 5% is rated poor to very poor. Soybeans, about 4%. Winter wheat is about 10% poor to very poor. Sugar beets are only about 8% poor to very poor. How's the lawns on a scale of 10? Where are we right now with those?
Terry, I'm pretty surprised that the lawns are holding on as well as they are. That means that they're holding on, but they're not performing by any means. But I've seen turf now going into dormancy. And if this continues for a long period of time, you may want to water your brown turf, even though you don't want to water enough to bring it back up, but just water to keep it alive. If this persists, and I'm not seeing much of anything of any substance coming in the next couple of weeks. Are you?
No, not at all. And I did have that forecast through the 21st, which continued to be below average on the moisture. So I think it's good advice that folks normally that wouldn't water their lawn think about at least trying to keep the roots damp to a certain extent. And if they've been mowing it longer, 4 inches or so, that moisture should have a chance to sink down in and not be burned off right away. But how much water should you put on a lawn right now just to keep it sustained? How do you measure that?
Yeah, it's really hard to measure, Terry. So ideally, if you know what sprinkler, how much water it puts out at a given amount of time. So if you want to experiment, take like a tuna can or something that's short walls, but flat bottom, vertical sides, set it out there for 15 minutes underneath a sprinkler and measure how much water gets in that thing in 15 minutes. So I'd say if you got an inch of water, that's going to do a lot of good. And if you water during the day, they say it evaporates, so you're wasting all your water. But it's not. If you're watering and it's getting down into the ground, and it'll be shaded by the turf, and that will help preserve that water from evaporating so fast. But it's going to evaporate anyway, and that's what we're trying to do is prevent evaporative loss. So
good advice, Jerry.
On turf is good, Terry.
You take care. All righty?
Yes, sir. Yep.
We'll talk to you again. Jerry Samalski, Bay Landscaping and Garden Center in Essexville. When we return, Chuck Lipstrew will be joining us.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present the future. Sepia fungicide from BASF.
It looks like a liquid.
Well, it is. Does it have any buttons or screens? It's a fungicide.
What's the battery life?
No batteries. But it is built from the ground up to navigate the ever-changing regulatory landscape and provides longer-lasting residual control. Experience the future with Sepia fungicide. Always read and follow label directions.
Let Foster Blue Water Oil take your diesel to another level. You do get more power, cleaner injectors, maximum lubricity, year-round protection, and up to 8% improved fuel economy with Diesel Guard Supreme Plus from Valve Tech Petroleum. For more information, just get a hold of your local Foster Oil rep, or you can go online, fosterbluewateroil.com. This reminder for wheat growers and those interested, the Michigan wheat folks are having their Summer Wheat Day. That is tomorrow. It's virtual. It's June the 9th. You can get all the up-to-date research, ask questions of the experts, and see what you need to know about this year's wheat crop. Starts at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. For more details, you can go to miwheat.org and click on the Summer Field Day. You have 2 RUP credits are available, 2 CCA credits also. So mark that down tomorrow morning. Join us a little bit early if you want, about 7:45. We'll be online, ready to go. And then at 8 o'clock, all the activity kicks in. Along with me, Chuck Lipstrew. Chuck, we're talking, we continue to talk about dry weather out there, but there's a few other things we need to be covering with our growers right now, isn't it?
Well, Terry, you know, I did get rained on yesterday pretty hard driving back across the west side. I know that one rainstorm isn't going to do it. And as you mentioned, the forecast is terribly favorable right now. But I know that's on everybody's mind. You know, one other thing that we've done here in the last week, our organization had a chance to join our state government leaders down in Detroit to announce the creation of a new high-speed internet office in the state of Michigan. Now, that doesn't solve our broadband internet problems overnight by any means, but it does mean that our state government is going to start coordinating maybe a little bit better, and the agencies of government are going to be talking just a little bit more than they might about how to bridge the digital divide and get the high-speed internet access more widely available out there in the countryside. So that's one that we've been working on the last few days. It remains a priority for us and many of other ag organizations in our state and frankly across the country to make sure we're talking about the need to have reliable and accessible and affordable high-speed internet in rural communities.
Is there any opportunity for locals to provide some input into this discussion, Chuck?
Well, I think one of the most important things we can do is to provide information to state government on where high-speed internet's available, where it's not. Something we talk to our members, our agribusiness members, quite a bit about. And I can tell you anecdotally, we've got members who will actually need to move around staff a little bit, who are engaged in trading and industries where you have to have a high-speed connection. And we also have members that have to move offices if they're doing anything during the day that requires a high-speed connection. And Terry, the story that I share most often with our state government friends is the time we had a call of probably about 50 MAVA members from across the state, and all of a sudden everybody up in the thumb just went away. And it was only the guys up in the thumb, and it didn't take us long to figure out that the internet basically just shut off on them. And that's the kind of thing we're up against in rural communities. And certainly, our association continues to share those types of stories with our state government and our federal government, for that matter.
All right. Chuck Lipstrew, you take care. We'll talk to you again.
You
all
too,
right.
Sir.
Stay cool.
Bye.
All righty. Bye-bye. Chuck Lipstrew.
Northeastern Paint, Home Decoration Center. We're more than a custom paint store. We have everything you need. From carpet to lighting, it's all here. With quality and satisfaction guaranteed. Northeastern Paint, Home Decoration Center.
Since 1959, count them, that's 62 years, Northeastern Paint Supply has been serving the Tri-Cities. We have the most knowledgeable staff in the area, offering you the highest quality products in the industry. Benjamin Moore Paints, Hunter Douglas Blinds, Quazell and Kitchener Lighting, Flooring from Flooring America, fireplace doors, gas logs, and custom-made rugs. It's all here under one roof. Northeastern Paint Supply, Saginaw and Bay City.
Northeastern Paint, Home Decoration Center.
Let's take a look at the money in your pocketbook. Steve Anderson over at Baird & Company. Can we make it grow a little bit today?
Well, maybe before the end of the day. Right now, we have done a pretty good job of coming up off the lows of the morning. The Dow Jones Industrial Average right now is down about 16 points, putting it at 34,615. Volume is 385 million shares. The NASDAQ's down 4 1/3, putting it at 13,877. Volume there is 498 million shares. Locally, little more green than red. We've got Caterpillar 240.62 up 86, Deere 357.30 up 183. CMS is 59.41. That one's down 339. Dow 69.53 up 29. DuPont 85.20 up 23. Corteva 46.26 up 33. GM 63.48. That one's up a quarter. Trinzio 66.07 up 89. Walmart 140.31 down 59. Home Depot 310.33 up 37. Huntington Banks is 15.43 down 15. TCF 46.30 down 41, and AT&T is down 23 at 28.85.
Steve, you have a great day. We'll talk to you again soon, okay?
Thank you. Sounds great. You too.
I will. Steve Anderson over at Baird and Company. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Krizak's House. If you've got an event where you've got to supply the food, not a problem. 989-894-5531. That's the number. Take it to your event, and you are a hero. Krizak's House, corner of Cass and Michigan on Bay City's south side. Back at 12:30 with an update. Now we join radio stations all across the country by playing our national anthem.
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Rocket Mortgage.
I'm Steve Kathan. A Senate investigation reveals a wide security and intelligence breakdown prior to the deadly January attack at the U.S. Capitol. CBS's Chris Van Cleve says warnings never made it to the top.
The Senate Rules Committee and the Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs Committee jointly made 20 recommendations, including appointing a new Capitol Police Chief, bolstering training, enhancing communication between law enforcement agencies, improving coordination across federal, state, and local governments, and evaluating threats of violence on social media.
The FBI led an international effort to foil criminals in more than a dozen countries. CBS's Roxana Saberi in London says it resulted in more than 800 arrests.
Authorities say they trapped criminals by tricking them into using phones with an encrypted messaging app called Anom. This allowed officials to monitor conversations in real time.
We were able to actually see photographs of hundreds of tons of cocaine concealed in shipments of fruit.
The global sting led to the seizure of 600 tons of cocaine, 5 tons of marijuana, 2 tons of methamphetamines, and $148 million